and welcome to our Shadowrun session number 16. We are in the middle of a interesting point in the story where the characters had saved Mercurial, reunited her with Hernandez, and in the process had watched Max flame out due to an altercation with a identified flying object known as a dragon. Deciding that they were going to follow some leads that led them to Redmond and what helped Redmond become a Barrens, the party had wandered through the streets in sight of a building that was one of the central pillars of Redmond, at which point we had Womp get a message in his head that from the same voice he heard on TV laughing, of the dragon. And with that, I will introduce who we've got for tonight. Online we have David.
Hello, I'm David. I play Peter Georgie. He's flying through the sky, so fancy. No, Georgie,
no, that's the enemy. The enemy's flying through the sky.
A very meaty, very, very young, disturbingly young clone who is awfully fond of engaging in MC Hannah's favourite time, which is Hannah time. And, well, he's just having fun being around and smashing face.
There is a lot of things he can get up to and get done, and he is enjoying being one of the most powerful kids on the block.
Yeah, well, I mean, having escaped from the place that he was cloned from, he's having a great time. Doesn't really care that much about this whole dragon overarching thing. He's just having a good time smashing around.
Also online today we have Jeremy.
Yes, good evening all. I'm playing Desrin Deadshot, the elven street rat originally, who dreams of joining the Ancients, and along the way has developed a reasonable side gig as a bit of a smuggler and sniper.
Every little bit helps. And rounding it off tonight online.
Scoundrel. I keep thinking of a smuggler, but no, it's a scoundrel.
Hey, a smuggler can be a scoundrel, and a scoundrel can be a smuggler. So not exclusive. Also online today we have Martin.
Yes, I'm playing Rakesh, the woman shaman, and I'm probably a smuggler as well, but I'm also an elite, so I'm just trying to keep my head low.
So with you at this point are two trolls, one by the name of Womp and one by the name of Flogger, and a closest thing to a hybrid werewolf sort of person in your group is Bolt as well. You have a friend on call called SoCal who likes to play on the Matrix because, well, he can't do much else. And Shadowstar, the other smart one of the group, I believe she has 3 points in intellect at least.
Genius!
That was why you were asking her to do your money stuff.
Yep.
Well, she has 4 in intellect. So she really is a genius.
That's awesome.
And so you will have SoCal available to help you with stuff, and potentially a human mage if you need it. But that they're sort of in the background at this point. The human mage is so far in the background he doesn't even have a name.
I was meant to say, if you make it again, that's not what I recognise where it's coming from. So.
He hasn't made a session yet. He was there as someone shows up, wants to play, and he's a character you can now play.
Right.
So I thought he may as well be introduced because I went to the effort of making him.
Yep.
And that way you've at least got a fair number of people to help you if you need it.
And like we're ever going to get to such danger, we need people to help.
Okay, so we start off with the session with you dragging 2 trolls behind you.
Well, they're following. I don't know that we're dragging them. It's going to be way too much work.
They are unconscious and bleeding from the ears.
Oh, are they?
Georgie's dragging them both.
How did we finish last session?
With Womp being in contact mentally by a dragon.
Oh, yeah. And then falling unconscious.
Well, that's how you missed what happened after he got contacted, and to the point where you're now dragging him into what you think is a safe house.
Mm-hmm.
So between then and then, a lot of stuff could have happened, but it's still the same day.
Oh, yeah, no, that's right. Just, yeah. As player, I'd forgotten that we actually had that final contact. So, yes, I didn't remember that we'd actually effectively had people being hit at the end. So does that mean that both Womp and Flog are actually being dragged at the moment?
They are both being dragged, and someone's carrying Bolt.
Okay.
Because, well,
Okay,
Bolt's
so-
unavailable.
Yep. So did we get physically attacked that we were aware of at the moment in time that forced them to go down?
You believe it was a magic attack, which is part of the reason you hightailed it out of there, because they were attacked without any visual sign of attack.
That's what I meant. Like, yeah, that's the fact that they suddenly went down, and so basically, yeah, we've taken duck and cover, or we worked out what might have happened.
I've got no idea.
Well, certainly, as soon as we do find a safe spot to drag them off the street, then Desrin will be taking a look out the windows to see if there's anything on the street that might be coming through.
Looking on the street,
Having just dragged 2 trolls, Georgie looks at the 2 of you and goes, "What the bloody hell is going on here?"
and as you look out onto the street, you see that a lot of people are running for cover.
Okay. Now this is when we're actually in the Redmond Barrens, trying to do a bit of a search for that factory for the.
You were heading to the Tayatzel building.
Okay, right. Which was, the Tayatzel building. That was the headquarters of the plastics factory or something.
That is correct.
So we're gonna check out both the building, the headquarters building, and the factory to see what was there or what might have happened. And so, how close were we to either of them?
You were within sight of the Tayatzel building, at which point was when Womp brought up that this is where the dragon went.
Ah, that's right. Yes, yep. And then collapsed unconscious.
Yep, screaming.
And took Womp and Bolt down with him.
Very useful.
Okay. People on the street are ducking and running for cover. Are they appearing to run in a particular direction on average, or
away from the Tayatzel building?
Okay. I will be looking in that direction then to work out. Okay, is there something that they can see that we haven't spotted yet?
Yes. You don't even need to roll.
His carbine.
looking out and up the 28-story building, standing on the top story, wings outstretched, is a great dragon.
Desrin, that's a big bloody bird. What's going on?
Well, potentially we could avenge Max's death. Assumingly, that's the beast that took out Max.
You want to go and grab that? You're supposed to be the smart one, mate.
No, I said potentially. I didn't go over to. Hey, I didn't even like Max.
And considering half the party wanted to kill Max, it was a lot of restraint they showed.
Was that? Am I right?
Yep, that's am I right.
What you mean? What you mean avenging? You mean thank that bloody big chicken for killing him?
Well, I said it wasn't entirely. It potentially had arguments.
Because he had special operations.
I don't care as long as he's gone, because he was a bloody pain in my ass. But anyway, what are we going to do about that big chicken? Are we just going to ignore it? Can we leave?
Well, seemingly that dragon is where we were going to look at. That's apparently where that's right, because that was what New Horizons have been buying up all the property, but the factory and the textile building were the ones they hadn't bought, wasn't it?
That's correct. They couldn't buy those buildings. And you think you have a reason why now?
Yeah.
Yes, David?
Georgie texts his friend, and with a rather unfortunate moment of autocorrect, he texts, "What the duck is that?"
Do you take a photo?
I don't think I should need to, but yeah, why not?
Okay, so you text your friend with "What the duck is that?" And you get back, "It's a great duck."
You phone idiots.
Yeah. What the duck are you doing there? You ducked up.
And it has a ... and then it says, "Am I right?"
I'm going to need a new supply of phones.
Because he's got your number.
Georgie takes a photo of a troll's bare ass and sends it to him.
And you get a response back saying, "That looks like the dark side of the moon."
What? Did you pull down Wob's pants while he's unconscious?
Oh, you know I did. The next text is, "Answer the question or I'll turn him over and take another photo."
Okay, so you get a response back saying it looks like the Tayat building that is about 30 years old and was once a mid-sized office block in the styles of the 2020s. As you can see, the lower 20 stories are mostly concrete, with the upper 8 stories with a mirrored glass. With a couple of links in there to corporations that had once worked out of it.
His response is, "Yeah, but what about the clucking chicken?"
No data on record of the duck on top.
Thanks for nothing.
Now I've just got to remember what letters here. Because yeah, so New Horizons.
New Horizons were behind the buying up of various regions of Redmond. This area here had been denied them for some reason. During that denial, Hernandez was set up and Maria moved over to Max, you were then hired to
the bodyguard to ensure that Hernandez didn't challenge the changeover, but of course found out that he wasn't going to challenge the changeover, and that it was New Horizons that had set him up for it. New Horizons are the owners. Are they Yakuza backed?
And New Horizons don't appear to be Yakuza backed, they appear to be Yakuza.
Okay, yeah, so which is also the fact that they were putting a strong arm onto Max Foley, possibly not necessarily that unwillingly.
Well, he did owe them a lot of money and was using Maria as his client to help pay them off.
And then New Horizons suddenly stopped all the works in Barrens. Is that right?
They stopped the works around the same time that Hernandez was set up, and a group of people known as Dragon Knights showed up.
Yes.
Led by a guy that everyone in the Barrens who has been there since he crashed don't want to go near.
Yes.
Every gang has gone undercover and is basically playing nice.
Yeah, and the Dragon Knight had a link to Ashland, which is where Hernandez had come from, wasn't it?
That is correct. Hernandez had left Aslan. At the time, it had taken over the country. He was one of the people fighting against it.
Yeah. Okay, and so we're actually trying to work out why it was that New Horizons suddenly, we're trying to find out why New Horizons hadn't been able to buy Perfecto plastics for the tackle building, and possibly the reason is the fact there's a dragon living there. But
there has been no rumours of a dragon there until today.
Okay, so the dragon wasn't actually.
Look, if there's been some rumours formed about a dragon today, I've got some questions.
Someone's been sending around photos of a dragon online.
They're possibly fairly well substantiated rumours, but hey, you can't trust what you see, surely.
You can't.
So Georgie takes a selfie of himself with also a view of the dragon, and posts it on social media. Hashtag all hail our new dragon.
And you have so many responses about people commenting you on your fantastic photoshopping.
I didn't think you had those sort of skills.
Well, happy to take a role in M. Night Shyamalan's next movie as graphic editor.
Okay, so how far are we from the taxi building right now?
You are probably about 4 blocks away. You had gotten about a block away when you dragged Flogger and Womp and Bolt away.
Okay.
Now, what's the big chicken doing now?
When you're looking out there, it's gone.
Oh, good. The danger has passed.
Much better than dragon you can't see.
Yes, the danger has passed. I can no longer see it. It does not exist.
So, what I can't see can't hurt me.
Exactly. Haha.
I'm sure Max thought the same thing.
Desrin will take a look away from the window, having said, where to go, and look back and say, what's wrong with those three?
I don't know. What are you looking at me for? Look at the other magic user. Ask him.
I recall more different deaths.
Georgie throws a rock Rakesh. Oi! Martin, you might be on mute.
No, he doesn't appear to be on mute. He may be away from the computer.
Georgie keeps throwing rocks at him while he just stands there. What a silly stationary target.
Well, I was going to say, but does Rakesh have any medicine first aid type of thing at all?
But that's not the point.
He does have one ranking medicine, so he's probably better trained in medicine than Womp was.
That's right. So he is the first. He is the medic of the party.
That's disturbing.
Well, he's got to hold 2 dice.
I'm going to go have a look. Georgie walks outside and tries to find the dragon.
Okay, as he steps outside and looks down, okay.
I think you look up first of all when you walk outside looking for a dragon.
So it looks like Rakesh, with his wonderful roll of a triumph, 2 failures as a result, can honestly tell you that that they're alive, he thinks.
Spectacular.
Dragon?
You're back.
You're back.
No, you just did a medicine check to see what's wrong with the idiots.
As the local medic in the party, we were asking, are these 3 going to wake up?
Also, you may have a couple of unknown bruises for no reason at all.
Right.
There are a couple of rocks at your feet.
And so you're asked to check on the bodies. You got a triumph and 2 failures, but you were able to determine that they are alive, just not much else about them.
Okay.
Using medicine.
Are they going to stay alive?
Well, I assume it won't be this session.
Right, like it's basically asking the idea of, yeah, are they stable?
What would Mark?
Can you tell me that?
Well, what I can tell you is you believe they're alive. Beyond that, you're not quite sure. You don't really have that much in the way of medical supplies out here to check things with. And you are cowering in a abandoned building. As you see Georgie outside staring down at this wonderful silhouette of a dragon passing over him.
It's obviously just a cloud.
Well, I'll get them inside.
Well, they're inside, Georgie's outside.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
And he's just...
Looked out the window and the dragon disappeared, so he went out to have a look to see if he could find out where it was gone. And he probably found it. Whether it also found him is the other question.
Yeah. Will a stim pack get him up and running?
Possibly.
Georgie looks up.
You look up. You're looking directly into the sun at the moment, and your eyes are a bit sore from doing so. You pull your sunnies down and get a look at these bright thing glinting around the sun itself, trying to position itself between you and the sun. And looking down, you're standing right in the middle of a dragon silhouette. So you're looking. All good. Looking up, you see what appears to be something between you and the sun, and looking down, you see you're standing in the center of a dragon silhouette.
And go back inside.
Okay, so Georgie rushes back in.
It's the big chicken is still ducking up there.
Well, I'm not certain that, I say,
Well,
we can't really go forward any further when we've just lost half the party even before we got within Kumi.
and dragon. Huh. I laughed a rock.
Is Desrin aware of any underground facilities that might allow access through the sewers or whatever type of stuff to get to the bottom of the tactical building?
Possibly, but you haven't actually been that way yourself. There's a lot of sewer activity down there, and there's also the home of the rat shamans.
Yep.
Does Georgie offhand know of any military bases with potentially some anti-aircraft weaponry at all anywhere?
Yes, there is a fantastic fort nearby. It's said to have all the latest gear, and it is called Fort Lewis.
Completely abandoned by anyone, I assume. Yes, absolutely. Definitely no one to stop us from appropriating that stuff.
Completely abandoned by all those well-armed, well-educated, on-century UCAS soldiers.
Yeah, you're right. It's completely abandoned by all civilians.
Yes. Well, maybe they'll shoot at a dragon if it comes near them.
You realise that Fort Lewis is on the southeastern edge of Seattle, and we're currently in slightly north of centre in the western side. You want to try and link it to the highway?
I'm literally 6 months old. I don't know that.
Yeah, I'll show you a map.
As he goes to show you the map, his screen says currently buffering, and you see the circle of loading appear on there.
You've got an apple, don't you? What have you got an apple for?
No, I think we've got a dragon, it's a problem.
Oh, well, I guess that'll do it. I'm just going to drop out of start in 2 seconds.
All good.
And try not to run into that tow truck.
So yes, you can basically make a retreat back to a safe place, in Redmond.
So
you don't have to do this place today. You do have 3 other jobs that you're supposed to finish.
yes.
What's the time frame for this one?
This one, the time frame was 5 days looking after Maria for Max, who's now dead.
Yes. And the others were all at least a month or 2 time frame, which is why we started on this one. But yes, it would seem that we were supposed to look after Maria for 5 days, which was long enough for the contract to all be finalised, protecting her from Hernandez.
But we realised that the threat as technology was much greater than Hernandez.
Well, currently we've left her with Hernandez right now because Hernandez was not the bad guy. Max was the mostly bad guy working for really bad guys, but apparently got caught up with even worse bad guys and dragons. So yes, I would suggest that we do want to try and get these 3 back at least. Because let's say if you're just saying they're alive and we don't know what's happened to them, we better get them to a dock.
Well, you have heard of a fantastic dock that doesn't charge.
Yep.
And it seems that the Brotherhood have opened up a branch in Redmond to free for anyone here who wants medical services.
Well, certainly they're likely to be the closest that we know of right now.
Yeah, those fellas are lovely, aren't they? Very, very friendly.
But they may also have been a place for people to run to when they saw a dragon in the area, but yes. Unless Desrin has, amongst his contacts of in Redmond, having grown up in the area type stuff, unless he's got a contact at a street dock nearby, we'll go for the closest one because A, we don't really know what's happened to them, and B, we don't actually want to try and go too far outside with a dragon flying around.
Okay, so you do know that most of your contacts don't have skills in magic or medicine. You generally just get here's a bandage, here's a band-aid.
Yeah, I know. I certainly wasn't expecting to do street docs type stuff. That's the. But yes, so the lovely Brotherhood of University is the goal.
Yep. So
Brotherhood of Universal Love.
You end up getting a call in from Shadowstar saying they're able to come and get you with a borrowed vehicle.
Borrowed from a friend.
Yes, nothing can go wrong here. Those things are absolutely nothing.
Well, okay, so.
I have a familiar called Cat. Called
Go, Jeremy.
Certainly, if we can get the 3 unconscious people to the Brotherhood right now.
You can, with the help of a van.
Oh, okay, right. So they're going to come and pick us up in the van.
Yep.
Yep.
I gotcha.
Shadowstar's going to come and get you.
Okay.
Just so it's not ostentatious and bright pink or anything. It's just a van.
Well, at the moment, be aware that the street might be a bit chaotic because of a dragon flying around. And a dragon that everybody knows has already destroyed at least one helicopter.
Oh wow!
A top-wagon helicopter at that.
Yeah, it took out a medical evacuation vehicle.
Say, okay. So, who raised the dragon's eye? The guy in the helicopter?
Quite like
Guy being rescued?
quite possibly Mr. Am I Right?
Sorry. Oh, okay, that guy.
It's alright, he got what he deserved.
So I'm struggling to hear because my hearing aid was not quite plugged in. Alright, I can hear now.
So yes, so Mr. Am I Right went to a fiery death into the streets below.
Well, that can get annoying, am I right?
Yes, you are right.
And possibly next if I keep this up.
Yeah.
That's okay. Geordie's online contact. Geordie's online friend is using that as his tagline now.
Oh, okay. So he's probably.
He's gonna get troll balls sent to his phone 24/7.
I've heard about this horrible virus called the Meow virus. Maybe we should send it his way.
Nah, don't worry about that. I've just got tons of photos of troll balls gonna get sent right to you.
It's always such a pleasure getting messages from you.
Okay, so
he's gonna mess with me by saying the thing that makes me the least happy.
Okay, so the one of the local takeaway shops shows up with Shadowstar behind the wheel.
Yep. It's Grills and Mills.
Grills and Mills. Am I right? On the side of the van.
Really?
No, just joking.
Thank you. I really don't need to be taken down by a fireball right now.
Is there room for them to all go in?
Yes, you can backload the trolls into the back of the van.
Okay.
Does this have a session number?
It does. It is number 16.
So Session 16. Awesome, thank you.
And so yes, you load the 2 trolls.
You hear a sudden horrible scratching noise from outside of the van. And then as Georgie gets in, hey, someone keyed your van.
Someone, right? Yeah.
So did it mean you just scratched "Am I right" on the side of the van? Did you?
That someone would.
No, I scratched it off.
I was going to say that someone didn't look exactly like you in my side view mirror, did it? Amusingly,
I think Georgie is now seeing that phrase everywhere he looks.
Poor Georgie. He's like 16.
So you get in the back of the van and it takes off rather slowly. It is a bit above its normal weight limit.
How many trolls we got?
2.
2 trolls. So.
As you hear the sound of the bottom of the van scrape over some of the bumps.
Well, it's probably fairly well loaded.
Do I know where we're heading?
Yes, you're heading to this new free clinic called the Brotherhood.
Does this ring a bell to me?
They give you free medical care.
Okay.
You can get a change of clothes if you want it, clean clothes.
Okay.
And food if you want it.
Okay. Alright, well...
And George has been raving about the care and attention that he got when he was there.
Oh, he has he? Oh, in that case, I shall not hesitate to slowly speed our way towards the nearest outlet.
Yep.
Jason spends the entire time looking at a window, looking up.
I don't suppose my van's got a sunroof of any sort.
It can have fun quite easily.
Is that someone's got to rip a hole in it, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
No, let's go without that. We'll let Desrin poke his head out the open
I can't poke my head out. I can't open the window.
Can you angle the side mirror to look up?
I would say this is an older van, so none of that cute electronic stuff. You could probably angle that right so that you can see up into the sky.
Yep.
Okay, so as you angle your mirror, you do see the circling dragon of unusual size in the air.
What colour dragon is it?
Hard to tell because it's flying between you and the sun.
Okay. Do I know anything? Oh, it's daytime, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Do I know anything about dragons at all?
They are scary and have a habit of eating lesser people, which is everyone.
Okay.
And, of course, most importantly, never deal with a dragon.
And never trust me.
Never trust an elf, never deal with a dragon.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I joked earlier. We got a party of half elves. 2 elves and 2 others.
Oh, I see. Yes. All right. So who else is with us? Georgie, Desrin.
You have Georgie and Desrin upright, as well as Rakesh, the amazing dwarf mage.
I don't think I've met Rakesh in game yet.
You have not.
All right.
And
I wave vaguely in Rakesh's direction and say hi. I'm Shadow.
As Shadow Star waves, the van veers a little bit, but it doesn't move out of its lane.
Hands on the wheel, or let me drive.
I suggest changing drivers, but yeah, I'll keep my hands on the wheel.
Well, hey, at least it's not here you drive as you slide out of the seat, as you then see Jasmine go, no!
So, Rakesh is Martin.
Yep,
Yeah.
Rakesh is
I'm
Martin.
just making notes of
David is Georgie.
Yeah, I know.
And they've got the unconscious forms of Flogger, Womp, and Bolt.
Oh, our trolls are our trolls. Okay, so yeah, alright. So who's in charge of this masquerade?
Apparently you are, because you got the van.
Okay. Do I know roughly where the nearest Brotherhood is? Is
You are.
Georgie giving me directions?
Georgie hasn't been to this one yet. He's only been to the Bellevue one.
Alright,
But Jason will be able to show you the best way to get there.
I will pull in close and
How close?
close enough to the first doors I see that have some chance of fitting trolls through.
Okay. You pull up to the loading dock.
That works. Is there anyone there?
Not that you can see, but you can get out and push a button.
I'm leaning on the horn as I come in, but I get out and push a button.
Okay. The doors start to open as you see a couple of people in overalls going, "Can we help?"
Yes, please. I've got a couple of badly hurt fellows here that need attention.
Looking for medical support.
Please.
Well, we do have some of the best support around. He looks in the back. Oh, you've got a couple of trolls.
Yes.
We might have to get bigger stretchers.
Yes. I'm happy to help though.
Sure, you carry one and we'll get the other.
Can I carry one as enough? What's my strength stats?
Not really, because they do weigh a lot.
Cool. Alright.
George,
I've got
George,
two
you can
rolls.
carry one.
I can give it a good try, right?
You have trouble lifting the boot.
Oh, okay. Alright, fair enough. That
But
would
I'm sure George is happy to carry one.
Yep. So Georgie's a troll?
Georgie's a enhanced human.
Enhanced human. Okay, cool.
So
You're human, aren't you, Desrin?
No, I'm elf.
Elf.
yeah,
Sorry. I'm gonna get all this right.
eventually.
Right, cool. Enhanced human.
So yes, you see that they bring two industrial size trolleys out to put the trolls on.
Yep.
And the trolleys do groan under the weight of the trolls, but it does hold up.
I wear those trolleys I'd grown to. Did you say there were 3 people, 2 trolleys?
Oh, then yeah.
Bolt.
We can bring Bolt in as well.
I'll carry bolting if there's no extra stretchers and all the hands are busy. Make
And-
sure she gets in.
So yes, they take him in and they rush him into the back to be looked at. Said, it shouldn't take too long. Do you have any contact details where we can get to you if there's any issues?
I give them my contact details.
Okay. And they recommend you grab a meal, freshen up if you want to, and get some rest because, well,
Yep.
whatever's wrong with them could take a while.
Yeah. For the moment, I asked guys if we like staying in the area just initially, while we make sure that they're all taken care of and get some food and stuff, or
Certainly.
do we need to be somewhere?
Well, the first thing there's nowhere we've got to be right now, except it would seem appropriate to at least wait at the hospital
Yeah.
to get news.
Yeah. Well, if we needed to be
To could
somewhere,
explain the fact that the seemingly they just fell unconscious at the sight of the dragon.
okay, all right. So we'll stick around for news, maybe get some food.
Okay, so that they have a buffet of sandwiches, hot dogs, and ice cream. Unfortunately-
so Georgie will be happy, right?
Unfortunately, Georgie is so distracted with Womp being in surgery that he didn't even notice. We also have no David online at the moment, which is why I
David's
said that.
dropped off? Okay,
Yes.
cool. Alright. Sorry, no.
It's okay. Oh, there we go.
It's much easier to write with the numbers.
Is that whole thing just the letters?
Yeah, remember I used to have them. I discovered them when I found on the drum. Right. Martin.
Yep.
Not that Martin. Other Martin. What kind of being are you?
I'm a wizard.
You're a dwarf wizard, I think you said, or?
Yeah, dwarf, animalistic, shaman.
You can do it.
Okay, yep.
I'm sure we can
I'm a
call
badger.
Harry at some point or Hagrid.
Kind of thing.
What do you look like, just so that I can have a visual?
I probably have a few animalistic traits, mostly badger-like.
Badger-like. That's mainly what I was going for. That works. Awesome.
But yes, the typical dwarf, bushy beard, bushy moustache, bushy hair. You can almost see eyes in most of the hair.
Is it like one of those really long-haired dogs where they don't look like they've got eyes at all, but somehow they see?
Hey, Georgie. That's right, yes.
So between you all have some of the nicest ice cream you've ever tasted, while Georgie's out of the room busily waiting on news of Womp.
You were so
Yes,
short. You would encourage to talk about your friend that you went watching him in surgery while we waited in the recovery area, waiting room, where they had the food and ice cream.
What sort of ice cream was it again?
You guys suck
Various
ass.
flavors.
Oh, right. I want like strawberry raspberry with chocolate syrup.
You can find all that.
If it
Awesome.
makes you feel better, Georgie, Desrin didn't have any ice cream. He's
After
stuck in the cucumber sandwich.
Yeah.
after I ice cream, I grab
This is a
some
nerd.
and take it out to Georgie, wherever he is. What sort of ice cream do you like, Georgie?
All ice cream. It's all delicious.
Alright, I brought ice cream up to where you are after I had my
Well,
Yay!
aren't we a little bit afraid of the Universal Brotherhood?
Are you afraid
Not
of
at the
them?
moment.
I only know what Georgie
No
does.
one knows.
Okay.
At this stage, they're the most benevolent organization you've come across who just want to help people.
And
Yeah,
Yep,
that's
so
right.
Martin, to be clear, we as players are horrified, but we as characters think they're lovely.
Yes, yes.
they're the ones that have patched up Georgie before when he was almost dead.
So
Yeah, they're bloody lovely, mate. I don't know what you're talking about.
I look at you guys and I say, so what's happened here?
Oh, dragon.
Yeah, any more context than just dragon?
Well, I said we don't know.
Nope. That's all we know.
We're waiting for the news from the medics because I say we were just
So
No, I
what
know,
happened
so-
just before I picked you guys up? Were you
that's
just
okay.
hanging out and a dragon turned up?
Yeah, a dragon. That's what happened. And then these idiots just fell asleep or had a silk or whatever. And then we saw a dragon, so we did, and then you showed up, and well, now we're here. That's literally all we can tell you. Dragon.
Okay, no, that's okay. Can I see any news in a common room or something like that?
Well, there are some news that there's reports of dragon sighting in the Redmond Barrens, as well as Elvis has been sighted again.
Yeah, also, check this out, right? I got a great selfie with the dragon as well. Have a look.
I would like to have a look.
You see this very blurry image of what could possibly be some sort of bird on top of what could possibly be a building in the background.
Okay, so UFO. version
Georgie
of
then goes and
dragon.
scrolls through the photos to his friend. He scrolls past all the troll decks and the troll butts, and then gets the photo that he sent to his contact.
And does this one look any better?
It does look a lot sharper of what appears to be a dragon on top of a building.
Does it see anything like colours, size-ish?
It looks rather reddish in the light, but hard to tell. And it's big enough that it is its wingspan goes across the whole top floor of this office building.
So like huge. Did you say it was Redmond Barrens?
Redmond Barrens, yes.
Redmond Barrens. Okay.
Oh yeah, and that other moron got eaten as well. That happened. That was hilarious.
What happened?
Oh, the Am I Right guy, he got dead because the dragon killed
Max,
him. I'm not real sad about it, to be honest.
Remember Max,
he's the Am I Right, but you missed him. You just heard
okay.
stories of
So
him.
this is the dude you were protecting? Okay, cool. Alright.
Yeah, this is the dude I always wanted dead.
This is the dude you always wanted
So-
to... What?
Dead.
In my
Dead.
eyes,
Okay.
this
Alright.
dragon's actually a bit of a champion.
Okay. How did we end up working for him? You guys? Was it contract?
Through Flogger.
Oh, through Flogger. Okay, awesome.
yeah. Declan's just watching this
Someone told us to
conversation.
do something.
Declan's just watching this conversation from across the room, thinking, "Wow, she's trying to get information out of Georgie."
No, I'm just trying to get information out of anyone. Georgie just happens to be the one not giving that information. At this stage...
have I told you about vanilla ice cream? Vanilla ice cream is bloody delicious. You see, you got the old soy stuff, and that's
I'll
not
let him
real
keep
good, but it
talking.
is cheap. The thing is that sometimes you get the new stuff. The real stuff, the real vanilla ice cream is bloody delicious.
Not a huge amount of people have knowledge about dragons.
Well, not necessarily about dragons, but about the job Flogger was doing.
Well, as far as they knew, they completed the job.
Okay, alright. Did they get paid?
They did get paid up front,
Okay,
and then it turned out to be fake money.
That works out okay.
Then they got told by Hernandez that he'll pay them.
Who's Hernandez?
He's the guy that was framed for the reasons that Maria then moved over to Max, and they got hired for.
Oh, okay, alright. Well, at this stage it doesn't look like there's much more that we can do but wait for news. So I will wait for news and hope something happens.
Okay, about an hour passes, and then you have what appears to be a person wearing bloody coveralls comes out.
Bloody?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm very concerned by this since it seems to be they just passed out, but okay.
They say, so which of you is family of Womp?
I point to Georgie, hoping that the fact that they're both trolls will, they won't ask.
Georgie's not a troll.
I'm not actually.
Shit, sorry.
I'm not
We don't
actually a
have any
troll, but
other
I'm
trolls, do we?
family. So.
Okay, I point to Georgie, because being an enhanced human, they might mistake him for being some sort of cousin or something like that.
Georgie is in fact the closest member of the party to Womp.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so she goes over to Georgie, pats him on the shoulder,
I listen in.
and says, I'm sorry to tell you, but he seems to have suffered some sort of psychic attack.
Oh.
Jeez, I know it's all nothing.
We're not sure how long he'll take to recover, but we can keep him stable and healthy for at least a couple of days to see if there's any improvement.
Do we have any other access to more enhanced medical care?
Not yet.
Okay, cool. Alright.
You don't have any official IDs, so you can't walk into a hospital.
Oh, we don't? Oh, okay. That's
You're
good to know.
considered sinless.
Yep.
We haven't even got bad
System
fake IDs.
identification number.
Okay, yeah.
So the system identification number is like the chain code of Star Wars.
So I am without sin.
Mm-hmm.
What about Womp and
Flogger and Bolt.
Flogger and Bolt, sorry.
Said, well, each of them listed the other as their closest family.
I would be the next closest family.
Well, they've also suffered a psychic attack.
Can you tell me what the physical sort of consequences of this is? Is there brain damage?
Brain go bye-bye for a while. Not sure if it will come back.
So are there other vitals, breathing?
They seem to be physical. They seem to be physically fine, just not all there mentally.
Okay. And you guys are happy to care for them for the next couple of days while we figure out what's going on?
And they may recover on their own.
Okay.
So
I make sure
so
that
what sort of attack could have done this when we were standing right beside them at the time?
brilliant question.
Most likely a magic attack, and she does think that they were targeting Womp, and the other two got caught in the effect that hit Womp. Whatever did it was a bit more powerful than she's seen before, because it looked like it tried to shred their brains.
But they're going to be okay.
She doesn't know. If they recover, they'll recover in a couple of days. If not, then they will fade away and be gone.
Really sucks. Can I ask a follow-up question?
You can.
Did Georgie or Desrin tell me that Womp had received a call before passing out, or just that he looked up at the dragon and passed out?
He looked up at the dragon and passed out.
Okay.
Well, he looked up the building and said there was a dragon and passed out. There was no dragon visible at the time.
Okay, alright. So do I get
Desrin would have given you a lot of information if you actually asked him
Well, that's
when
what
you weren't talking to Bob, with Bob giving you ice cream type stuff.
that's
Or
what
guilt, I should say.
That's what I'm trying to do now. So, can you give me more detail about what happened? Who this job was for? How they ended up here?
Doesn't matter. Let's go that guy. Let's go and do something useful.
If
Let's go on the
I
dragon.
can, I put my hand over Georgie's mouth, and if that doesn't stop him, I get a big spoon of ice cream and shove it in there and hope that keeps it closed long enough. Well, I try to listen to Desrin's answer.
So you do see Georgie's eyes go wide with brain freeze.
That'll work.
Georgie, after he gets over his brain freeze, picks you up gently, puts you aside, and then walks out.
That's fine. I still want the answers from Desrin if I can get them.
Okay. Desrin will fill you in on all the details of the run and what happened to it. The idea, the fact that yes, we got hired to protect Mari and Mercurial for 5 days while they were doing a contract changeover from from Hernandez to Max Foley. So Max Foley hired us to protect against Hernandez. We then found out that she'd left Hernandez because she found evidence of BTL abuse and dealing on his computer.
Okay, yep.
However, it turned out that information had been planted.
He was framed by Max.
He was framed, and it turned out he was framed by Max.
Yep.
Or by the Yakuza. You don't think Max was actually involved in it, but was happy with the outcome.
Okay.
So we actually managed to get Hernandez and Maria back together, back to her condominium. When we had Max there at the same time, Max suddenly fell ill as poisoned. When the Dock Wagon trauma team, Platinum service came in.
Sorry, who was ill poisoned?
Max was obviously poisoned.
Oh, okay. Yep.
He hadn't been. Nothing happened to him. He'd been completely fine, and no one knew him. And suddenly, he was convulsing and foam coming in his mouth and all that sort of stuff. But the Dock Wagon trauma, we got him up to the roof, so asked him from the Dock Wagon trauma team. They took him away. Dragon destroyed the helicopter just as it left the building.
Okay, yep.
At the time, we didn't know whether the Dragon had any connection or influence or whether it was just a random event. But we've since discovered that New Horizons, which is a Yakuza-controlled company,
yep,
had been buying up property in the Redmond Barrens. They bought up everywhere for a few square blocks, except for an old factory of Perfecto Plastics,
yeah,
and a large office building that also was a bit of the headquarters for the factory, called the Taxel Building.
So the plastics place and the other building were the holdouts out of this buy-up of this territory, is that right?
Exactly.
Yep.
And it turned out they were holdouts, so they actually belonged to the same company in that sort of sense, like the office, the building was effectively headquarters, or held the headquarters.
Which is a subsidiary of As Technology.
Okay, which also belonged to As Technology, which Aslan was where Hernandez had originally come from, but the buying up of all the property in Redmond Barrens, or the attempt of it, and all the work of New Horizons, stopped about a week ago, which is when Maria changed over to, or found the data that said that Hernandez was a BTL dealer. So from that, we were looking down into the Redmond Barrens, because it was also of interest, particularly to Desrin, this is where he grew up, as the collapse of the Perfecto building, or when As Technology pulled out of the Perfecto building and the industry, was something that kind of triggered the collapse of the Redmond Barrens area economically. So we wanted to find out what it was that New Horizons were interested in the area, and also what stopped them going for those two places. On our way there, we were almost there when Rob said, "Hang on, there's that dragon again," and collapsed unconscious. Although no, he said that this is where the dragon had gone after it took out the helicopter, and then collapsed unconscious, taking Bolt and Flubber with him. And so then, we were holed up there thinking, well, we can't go any further to investigate this thing right now because A, there's a dragon on top of it and flying around, and B, we've lost all our party members. So we had to get them to medical help.
Yep, and that's how we ended up here. I just wanted to...
The other aspect that had come up during our investigation was that Barry Mercurial, who has currently got some absolutely state-of-the-art cyberware covering almost her entire body, she was found by Hernandez basically being effectively working as a prostitute, and was hooked up on BTLs.
She was voluntarily a prostitute, or was involuntarily being prostituted?
Well, was basically working prostitution for addiction.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, so she had addiction and she was being a prostitute. But had someone made her addicted and
you believe
was working
so.
her? Okay,
that's where it comes to the fact that
because Hernandez also said he killed her pimp.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so there was a pimp involved. Do we know who that pimp was?
Not really, he's not dead.
That's right. And that happened before Maria started her career in the Czechoslovakia. So that was the Hernandez family that we got through. But what we also found, obviously, the cyberware that she's got is definitely nothing that could ever be obtained by anyone who was a street prostitute, PTL addicted street prostitute that she had been when Hernandez found her. And we did find that, in fact, the cyberware had been done by, or had the signature of a world-famous, state-of-the-art cyber surgeon based in Japan, a Suyami or something.
Mm-hmm. He does only 50 enhancements a year.
So what was his name?
Suyami or Soyami or something like that.
Like Soyami.
Yeah, that's right. Soya, so yummy.
So yummy.
So yummy.
Yeah, okay, I've got that.
And
so he's the surgeon?
Yeah, he was the surgeon.
So it's Sorayama.
Sorayama, okay, there you go.
Okay,
Close.
So
Sorayama. Sorayama.
That's awesome. Okay, so he's the surgeon. So just to sum up, see if I got it correctly, I'll kind of go a bit backwards. You got Mari Mercurial, who's being trafficked by a pimp, who's loaded with this cyberware that is ultra rare by a surgeon that is like world class and hard to get into. She contracts you guys to protect her initially from this guy called Hernandez, because
she doesn't call at all.
No.
Oh, she doesn't call at all. Someone calls you guys to protect her.
Max Foley, her new manager.
Okay, right. So Max calls you to protect.
But also the important part going through with the cyberware is that there is no way the cyberware she's got could have anything to do with her career as a street prostitute or pimp. It must have occurred before she became a pimp.
And things that you have been able to figure out since all the events is that in relation to where you found the Dragon Knights and that building, because
I'll get back to the Dragon Knights. Yep.
In relation to the Dragon Knights and the building you found, that when it went bust, it went bust around about a year after Maria's implants were put in.
Okay.
So there is correlation to potentially what happened around that time, because she was found in the Barrens.
So would that mean then that the theory is that Mari got these cybernetic enhancements when she was working with this company, or a part of this company that went...
Well, we haven't necessarily got anything to directly connect Maria with the Taxel building or Perfecto Plastics.
Oh, I see.
There's some potential connection with the timings of when she got cybered up and when she got discovered.
So she was cybered up while that company was still running out of the Barrens.
Yeah.
And she was discovered working the streets after the crash. So when everything went down, and she was discovered in Redmond.
Yeah. But I mean, like, realistically, there'd be a lot of people who were working, being pimped or prostituting in the Barrens, and a lot of people got cyberware done before the building went collapse.
Right.
It's just giving you some reference to stuff.
Like, realistically, we're not certain what the real connection is that Perfecto Plastics has with Maria at this stage. Part of our interest was the fact that about the time that the Yakuza company, New Horizons, stopped trying to buy up, i.e. a week or so ago, were rumours of when the Dragon Knights were suddenly appearing and scaring everyone else from the area. And then obviously a dragon's just appeared, and we've heard rumours about Dragon Knights. We're figuring that's certainly got a connection, which is why we're looking at the building.
And Hernandez had told you that the Dragon Knights are connected to Az Technology.
That's right, yes.
So they are basically the hit squad of Az Technology.
The initial looking at the Jackal building and the Perfecto Plastics was somewhat of a fishing expedition.
And last session they found out that the Dragon Knight showed up at the Tatzel building right at the same time that New Horizons downed tools.
Yeah.
So it's believed that they forced New Horizons to stop what they were doing.
You know, my pencil's gone
Because they weren't actually just buying up land, they were also developing, weren't they?
They were doing development up until that point.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's not just the plot thickening, that's the plot getting deeper and more complex and branching out into a bunch of subplots.
Which may or may not be related.
Yes.
So you see, to answer your question, dragon.
Yeah. To be absolutely honest, that actually makes sense. Because
see, dragon.
You could see how a dragon would umbrella out into all of that detail.
Yes, but also, so you see, never ask Georgie for explanations.
No,
Well, did Georgie provide you with incorrect information?
No, Georgie didn't.
The only problem that matters to Georgie right now is that there is a dragon out there somewhere that can potentially eat him, that he doesn't entirely hate, that he is kind of afraid of.
That sounds like a very sensible position to have in terms of a dragon.
And one of Georgie's most complex thoughts that he's had since he started.
I was going to say, is this actually, is Georgie capable of thinking at this level?
He is.
Georgie's actually really smart.
I'm joking.
He's just more concerned about the dragon.
And that exemplifies your intelligence.
Well, he had twice the intellect of each of the people who have been knocked out.
So what's his intellect?
The thing to remember is that Georgie has average intelligence.
Okay, alright. Awesome.
It's just that he's got limited experience to have used that intelligence. Having only been around for 6 months.
Georgie's 6 months old.
So oh wow, 6 months old. Oh, that's where the enhanced human bit comes in.
He's a clone.
So what do you guys want to do now then? With these guys being taken care of here?
Kill the dragon.
I don't think that's possible.
How are you planning on doing that?
I don't care about that. You asked me what I wanted to do.
For the 21st century, so they've...
Did
They're
Georgie
far
just
above
say
us.
kill the dragon? Okay, because it blattered out on my...
I believe he said kill the dragon.
But then he said it's what he wanted to do, not what he could do.
Okay, do you
So I would
guys...
suggest we go back to
Yes.
Mario's place
Yes.
and consider our options. If we
Okay.
can't do anything more to help our friends here, we might as well head back there because hey, we haven't got anywhere else to be. We haven't got any other base to work from at the moment. So.
You know, having shot up your last one, it really does make things hard.
I will go get the van, and if the guys are happy to do that, I'll make sure they got my correct contact details for Flogger, Womp, and Bolt, and we shall head over to Mari's?
Maria Mercurial.
Yeah, can I?
And basically, mega rock star that you've been listening to music for the
Okay.
last 5 years, and they didn't tell you that they'd been bodyguarding her.
Okay, so I will playfully smack Desrin on the shoulder and say, why did you not tell me about this really cool job? Let's get going.
Yep. And I will qualify, Martin.
It did involve risk.
We
So
didn't shoot our last place at all. Not a single bullet that we fired damaged the property that we rented.
Martin, for the sake of my hand of being able to write notes, can I just call this person Mari?
Yep.
Well, it's Maria. I always call. I think in my head I call it Maria for some reason, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
Maria. So,
Oh, Maria. Okay,
Yeah.
I can do that. It's about the same.
but yes, okay, I keep using the term Maria because I think that's when I first read saw the module up to years ago. For some reason, I had Maria.
is
in my
just
head.
a valid a pronunciation as any other.
Yeah.
All right, let's go there.
Okay, so you travel to downtown, starting to try to get into downtown until you realise that the van you're currently in doesn't have the proper tags because it really only goes around Redmond. You might have to stop at a train station and train it in.
Okay, we stop at a train station and train it in.
Yep, all good.
Oh, I don't think we should waste any time if we don't have to.
Are a bunch of heavily armed louts allowed on a train?
Of course, a bunch of heavy louts are allowed on a train because the train have loud suppression systems if the louts get out of hand.
I would like to stipulate at the moment that I
I too
am
have
not.
guns.
I'm not allowed.
It's more that they are more than happy to gas, electrify, and shunt the people if they cause too many problems.
It also depends on whereabouts on the train system the heavily armed louts try to go.
Yep.
Just gonna get my little drink.
And it has been shown on many of those, believe it or not, capture shows of a bunch of people trying to hijack a train, finding it stop at the local police precinct with a bunch of heavily armed response team pointing weapons at them.
That's awkward.
Yep, especially considering they don't get to control the train. Someone else controls the train. There's no brains on the train at all.
No brains on the train.
Especially not after the louts tried to arrive and got there.
Okay, so yes, you managed to get onto the train. You see many ads for various bodily enhancements, foods of fantastical nature, such as drink this drink and you'll see sunspots and various well, it's
Sure.
basically hallucinogen drinks.
I see.
And as basically the taking over from the drink this and you'll have wings.
Oh, I see.
Ah, yes, they're putting a silly back in psilocybin.
And
Hey, there's
No
also
one's
the
got
odd
PTSD.
useful ad like this organisation that's out to help the whole the world, those who are under downtrodden.
yeah, the downtrodden. So you do see the Brotherhood
I
show
sure
up.
love the Universal Brotherhood.
So you do see the Brotherhood show up on screen. They really only refer to themselves as the Brotherhood, and they have a lot of well-dressed people from all different races and classes.
Question.
Yep.
Even though they call themselves the Brotherhood, are they known fairly commonly by any other name?
At the moment, they've just been known as the Brotherhood.
So is it like secret that they've got an official name?
They've only got Universal above their building billboard in Bellevue.
Okay, so
So-
it is possible to know that they're called Universal Brotherhood,
But they refer to themselves as the Brotherhood.
yeah.
And that they're willing to help people find a new career in life, a pathway to contemplation and peace, away from the riffraff of day-to-day life.
And Georgie looks to Desrin. Says, they really are just so nice, aren't they?
They're wonderful, and they say it is actually perfectly reasonable for us to be thinking of them as Universal Brotherhood because the Bellevue chapter was the first one we went to. We'd heard these stories about the Brotherhood. And thought, oh yeah, hey, or seen the ads and thought, hang on, yep.
So we were at the ground level.
Data pad type deals, way to access.
Georgie's sick. Hey, we can't afford a med doc. So therefore, hey, there's a Brotherhood chapter. Oh, Universal Brotherhood chapter. Okay.
Yeah. The whole word Universal is in small font above Brotherhood.
Yeah, but as
And they are just so nice. They're always like this. They've always been bloody kind to us too.
I was going to say, did they give you my screen?
Yes.
Why are you so
And they don't even ask us for anything. And they clothe us, they fix us, they feed us. They're just fucking nice, really.
How do you think they afford it?
I don't know. I've always wondered the same thing, mate.
And apparently they have a donations line which you see on the screen as they're up there saying, we're here to make a better world for you and me.
Well, I bloody donate. I'm just taking from them. They're nice.
Well, it's okay, because obviously if you look at that screen, they've got lots of guys that obviously have more money than Ken, so they can do the donation.
Yeah, look at those rich tops. They'll do the job. Don't need to donate. It's
Is
fun.
there any gear like that? I don't know if we've organised gear that I might have.
You have a bunch of basic gear that should still be on your character.
I just want to see if I can search the internet for any kind of basic information about the Brotherhood, when they started up, that kind of thing, while we're sitting on the train.
Well, you could do that, it might take a while.
As a character, we can tell you they're amazing. As a player, don't Google it.
Okay.
So you don't have any tech on you at the moment because you didn't concentrate on tech.
Yep, no, that's okay. I might talk to you about that if I'm in games
Oh, good.
a bit more frequently.
And so as the others have their spiel about it, Georgie pulls out some old tech called a pamphlet.
Oh, I will look
Here, this thing. They print this off and give it to people. Have a read.
And it's been printed on dead things, so it's got squished wood as the
so you
source.
mean it's actually printed on paper?
Yeah, look at that weird stuff. What's going on there? They
Yeah.
actually cut down trees, compressed it together,
I
and
look at,
formed some sort of pulp, dried it out, and they call it paper. I don't even know what that is.
I look at Georgie and I'm like, well, you know, if they've got this stuff called paper, you know, are they on the up and up?
Oh, they're amazing, mate. I mean, they've got enough money to print stuff actually on this paper. Anyone even knew paper was a thing? They must be rich. And, you know, they've got all this money and all they're doing is helping us out. They haven't asked me for anything and I've cost them thousands in credits
Makes
worth
sense
of
when you think about it.
medical treatment.
And then you see an ad for a new ream of paper that comes with its own printer. You can basically you buy the ream and it will print anything on each page as you do it, only going for 10 credits a ream.
What fascinating and modern age we live in.
So you
Certainly, as we're making discussion on the time type stuff, the more George is talking, the more Jess is thinking,
Yeah.
where do they get the money from?
That's all good. How long does it take for us to get to our destination?
Okay, so as you're getting closer to the destination, you see a news report on the foundations of a building called Freedom Tower getting put into place in downtown Seattle.
I heard they had this problem with the old buildings fell down or something about a plane hitting it or something.
There was some guy with floating platforms who destroyed it
Ah, right.
before they flew in the air unaided and punched him out of the sky.
I bet you the Universal Brotherhood did that. They're such good blokes. They help us all out.
And
I think that if it was them, it'd probably be on the advert.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. They're not afraid of bragging, I must say. They're not the most humble of people, are they?
Well, you have heard of the superhero accords where these uber powerful people have promised not to interfere with politics and governments.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And
Anyway.
with all that, they had to let the guy who attacked Seattle downtown with his floating platforms go because he's apparently royalty in another country.
Right. We should kill that guy.
He's got diplomatic immunity.
Diplomatic immunity.
So he had been expelled from their country this time for attacking the home base of what they call themselves the Freedom Five.
Right, well, okay, that's a bit weird, but alright.
And then they're just about to go into a spiel of who the Freedom Five are as the doors open as you've reached downtown.
I was just going to say quickly, are these guys connected in any way to the Brotherhood? Did I miss that?
There's suspicion they are because they're such nice guys.
I was just thinking,
That's very
have
rare.
you noticed that we haven't killed anyone in like the last 2 hours? We haven't, well, sorry, more importantly, we haven't been shot at in the last 2 hours either.
Well, apparently not physically, but seemingly we've been magically attacked.
And then there's
Surely that was more than 2 hours ago.
Georgie feels something sticky hit him in the forehead.
What the bloody hell was that?
There is a rubber dart stuck to your forehead, and a little kid pointing a plastic pistol at you.
Oh Jesus, no. Okay, Martin, can you roll a d6 for me, please?
But actually, the other one that Decker was about to say when Georgie came to spend 2 hours, I said, well, hey, we've just spent 2 hours in the wonderful Brotherhood building.
Here we go. We rolled a 2 for you there, David.
What'd you get?
A 2.
Oh shit. Georgie draws his pistol and points it at the kid.
What did Georgie do?
Drew his gun to point it at the little kid with the dart gun.
Yes,
I
but-
have some sort of
Yes, but
reaction
seeing that start to happen, we'll aim to actually try and put a hand on Georgie's hand.
Yep,
So, not here.
yep.
So Georgie shakes himself out. I'm sorry, mate. It's literally programmed into my body.
But like I said, like, you were just complaining you hadn't been shut up for 2 hours. You've been kidding
Yeah,
at
now I have.
You've been
And
cutting
he was going to get shot. He was that stupid kid. He shot something at me and he was pointing a stupid gun at me.
You're just a kid, just playing.
Yeah, and I almost bloody killed him.
Well, you know what that is to me? You can't carry
I'm
guns.
good at what I do. Good luck, mate. You'd have to kiss me before you took them off me.
And then Desmond gets one in the side of his head.
See? You give me an inch, I'll take a mile. Right, you little turd, come here! Georgie Saints running at him.
He screeches quite loudly and starts running
Good.
and laughing the entire time.
Yeah.
Was there
Georgie
apparently
decides to shoot him in the back of the head.
was there apparently any parents involved in this?
No, he seems to be old enough to ride it by himself. He's at least 12.
I must say, so when I was putting that portrait together, I went through about 7 or 8 different ones, and literally every single one other than the one I picked looked like a grizzled murder hobo. I literally had to put in the words nice.
I can understand. So yes, you've gotten yourself out onto the streets of Seattle. You're feeling a little overdressed and under-equipped, even though you know that you're carrying a lot of highly illegal gear with you at the moment.
Well, we're certainly aiming to get to the private entrance for Maria's condominium as rapidly as possible, except Desrin will take them through a route that means that they're not quite going through down the main streets, and we can skip the back streets and alleyways and things like that. So.
Okay, let's see how well Desrin remembers those ways. So we will give Desrin a streetwise roll or skullduggery, your choice.
Sorry?
Streetwise or skullduggery.
Because obviously he knows these streets like the back of his hand.
Right. Jeremy, which side is actually the back of your head?
So, and in fact, the streetwise and skullduggery are identically skilled.
But they can give you different results.
Oh, okay. Well, he'll roll twice. He'll roll for both of them and pick the option that works best. Just checking.
Okay, so with your first roll up of skullduggery, you managed to find a way through. Requires a lot of running and jumping through a couple of places no one really wants to be in, as you duck through a few parlors and gaming rooms and even what appears to be a mortuary, except you realise that it's mostly a butcher, but hard to tell with the things hanging in here what they're actually butchering.
And also a brothel.
No, that's upstairs.
And you eventually make it to Maria's apartment complex.
Okay. The important thing being, we made it there without being picked up by security, and we were on our way. I don't know whether actually we got the. Obviously, it looked like it was blank anyway. But was that white dice a setback die?
It was a boost dice because you've been that way before.
Okay. Because I was going to say, because he also got the talent that means that he removed setback dice. So, but obviously he didn't have any, so that's okay.
Well, I actually removed one for you.
Oh, you did already? Cool. Happy with that.
So you find yourself in the Star Gardens endominium. Yes, it's called an endominium. A high security condominium building in downtown Seattle. So if you have a luxury lifestyle, this is the sort of place you can get property in.
Now, do we actually have the codes and or pass keys to get into it from the private entrance, or is it a case of sending a message up to Maria to say, hey, we're back, and we come back in?
You do not actually have any keys to this. Maria's the only one who does, and it was apparently built into her hand.
Yeah.
Which made it even more secure because it requires the cyberware she has.
Yeah. So, like I say, having realised that, oh, hang on, no, we're not going to get through the door there like that, Declan will contact Maria to say, hey, we're back, and we come back in.
Okay, let's see.
No.
And fair enough too, it's like I would think, but hey.
Yep, me too.
Okay, so as you ring her number, it rings out.
Ah!
Okay, we'll try ringing Hernandez's number. The number that she gave us, not the number that Max Foley gave us.
Okay, so his number rings out too.
Georgie tries to ring Hernandez.
Well, okay, so Jacob saying, I guess they made up.
Okay, so
Georgie tries to ring Hernandez because Hernandez kind of likes Georgie.
Georgie picks up as Hernandez picks up as Georgie rings, and he sounds a little bit out of breath.
Hello, mate. You been on the old horse, fella?
Just been making up, he says with a bit of a stutter, and sounding very winded.
Whatever you want, mate. If you're if that's what you want, I'm too scared to tell you no. Hey, we're here. Can you maybe put some clothes on and let us up?
In which order?
Preferably put some clothes on and then let us up, mate.
Okay, I'll get to the button in a few minutes then.
Righto, you do what you gotta do. I don't care. I just don't want to see you naked. I wouldn't mind seeing her naked, though. I wouldn't say no.
Full sidearms.
And as he puts the phone down, it drops on the floor, and you get a picture of Hernandez walking over the phone with nothing on.
You deserve disrespect.
Jesus!
Hey, you were sending him, get him back.
But your first thought is, geez, he puts Womp to shame.
Yep. Hernandez is getting a picture of a troll dick. How the bloody hell does he walk?
And about 5 minutes later, the lift opens.
Oh, g'day, tripod.
There's no one in there.
Okay, we'll go in.
And you hear a voice from the speaker inside saying, well, if you enter the lift will then go up, and then we can talk.
Yes. Well, Jacob was basically hiding in the shadow somewhere while we had to wait the next couple of minutes, so he immediately dashed from the hide location straight through the door because they opened.
Alright, you nerd, sit down.
And then you find yourself
in the lift.
find yourself in the nicest place you've ever been in. Even makes the Brotherhood seem second rate in comparison.
This place is a bit gross, don't you think? It smells weird.
Most of you haven't been in a high lifestyle before.
Why doesn't it smell like dead rat?
Can I just have a respectful look around and get the layout of the place?
It's bigger than any place your entire family stayed in, and it appears to be just for her.
Okay.
Well, and him.
Tactics, if we're attacked, knowing escape routes and so on.
The lift takes you into her apartment. It's on the top. It's the penthouse.
Yep.
The ways out of it are to jump off 28 floors down, I think it is.
So, not unless I'm a dragon?
I think it's more than 28 floors.
Give Martin ideas, please.
I'm going to say, we're in the middle of downtown Seattle, it's probably more like 128 floors.
That's true.
48th floor, so 48 floors down.
Yeah. Wow. That's a lot.
Oi, Hernandez, where are you, mate?
Hernandez comes out with what appears to be a robe that doesn't close in the front.
Oh, tripod, come on, put away!
It doesn't have my size, he says.
Yeah, well, look, if you could just find maybe a boat cloak to cover that python up, mate, that'd be fantastic.
He shrugs and says,
I don't know, maybe a tarp from a truck.
Do you have pants, perhaps?
Currently being cleaned, he says.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
What about a really long shirt?
That's with the pants.
Okay, who has these
When you get aroused, you pass out from blood loss, mate. how does it actually make it all the way around back up to your brain?
I have no
How you
problem
can
with it.
stand up straight?
He stretches and flexes. I'm showing you how well he can stand up.
Jeez, I didn't need to see that much of you, mate.
And
You
he
didn't
can.
scare me, I didn't you?
He is basically full of muscle.
Yeah, look, if you didn't scare me, I might actually shoot you for that, but you're lucky, I guess. While you've been dancing, shall we say, do you there's a dragon?
Well, you said that before you left.
Yeah, no, there's a bloody dragon, like, out there, a dragon. Also, I hope you don't miss Max, because he kind of got eaten by the dragon.
Yeah, he was already there when that happened. So.
Yeah, alright, cool. Well, I mean, look, what
George is trying to say is that, yes, the dragon that attacked Max was apparently also at the location where we were doing some legwork.
Well, that sounds a little bit interesting, considering you said it was related to Aztec technology.
Just a quick question. Would you like me to
Georgie leans in closely and says, "Mate, speaking of legwork, how's she go?"
Like clockwork, he says.
Uh-oh. Bangs like a sunny door in a windstorm. Alright.
No squeaking here, he says.
Right. Ninjas then, eh?
He just smiles.
I guess that's how it is. Alright, back to the matter. There's the dragon. I don't actually care. You guys talk it out. I'm gonna go and investigate this food. Yes.
You find the bar rather easily, and she doesn't have any synthetic alcohol. She's got the real stuff, as well as a couple of tubs of ice cream you've never even heard the names of.
Elementary, my dear. Watson appears I'm a super detective. Alright, carry on with your business.
You see the price tag on one of the tubs of ice cream, and it appears to generally go for sale for 1,000 yen.
I pay for it.
Well, she's already bought it all.
Exactly. I'm paying for it. But I mean, no.
It's going to be messy, so tea time. I don't know how well it will stay on, but...
Okay, so yes, while George is catching up on the latest in bovine delicacies.
Bovine?
Milk.
Okay.
So, ice cream.
Oh! Sorry, I really wasn't doing my math very well there, was I?
Desrin's going to sit down in a cup for a bit, and then jump on computer.
Yep.
Is SoCal actually still here?
SoCal is still here working on stuff because it takes him a while to do so. You left him while you're doing it. But as you sit down, I'll get you to make a discipline check.
Can I sit down with him?
You can.
I also want to do research, and I presume that's what he's doing, and I presume it just doesn't happen to be personal computers for
And I believe you have a willpower of 1.
I have,
Yep. I got a whole 1 die.
Okay, as you sit down next to Desrin, you hear snoring from Desrin.
Okay.
Yep.
My intellect doesn't come into play here. So I've got 4 intellect with a willpower of 1.
Yeah, but it's how, well, you're not nearly exhausted more than likely, so you're probably fine. You're probably
Yeah, that's true.
It's discipline plus willpower is what makes the dice pool.
Discipline.
It's your skill, so you probably just use your willpower 1, which means but it's not getting upgraded at all. So, but yeah, you may not need to roll at all because you haven't been running around for the last 48 hours straight without actually cooking.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, no, I haven't. I possibly also haven't got any updates to my character since then. I don't know if they'd apply because I need experience for that, wouldn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Well, if I need to do the roll, my willpower's 1, and I don't appear to have discipline at all. I do.
Okay, no, you seem to be wide awake. You had 1 difficulty for the dice, whereas Jeremy had 2
okay.
because he's been doing a lot more running around.
Yeah.
So you sit down next to Desrin and start hearing Desrin snore.
The stim patches. I'm just wondering if one of those would be worthwhile putting on Desrin.
Depends on if you want to wake him up after falling asleep. He looks exhausted.
Oh no, I'll let him rest for now, unless he greatly objects to me letting him rest. Alright. I will try and... Wish he'd had time for me to ask him what he was going to look into, because he's got a lot more background.
Can I just say, what an awful way to wake up. You wake up to the slap of a sting patch. Oh god, your body is full of adrenaline.
Well, I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to shake him to see if I can wake him up enough to ask him what sort of search terms was he going to use.
Okay, so Desrin, you're dreaming. You have just been accepted by the Ancients as one of their gang. You're putting on the jacket, starting up the bike, and feeling the rumble of the bike until you realise you're being shaken awake by Shadowstar.
He can go back to sleep.
What the?
You can go back to sleep. I need to know what you're going to do on the computer so I can do it.
Talk to SoCal.
SoCal. Okay, cool. That's good information.
Who I've just sat down next to and was going to ask questions of and then collapsing
I don't know who SoCal is, so this is actually
SoCal is the computer guy.
really relevant, so I will do that. Well,
And
you know
Desrin,
Martin.
realising that he's actually a lot more tired than he was actually had realised, will go and try and look for a second bedroom and
Go
go
pass out
sleep on the bed
somewhere.
instead of on the couch.
Oh, she has multiple bedrooms. You find a spare bedroom, and the bed is so good.
Yep, that's right. I'll be asleep before I've realised how good it is because it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, so you pass out, I will... So, did you say SoCal? As
Yep.
in S-O-K-A-L?
Yep.
Yep, okay.
As in,
Is this a person or just a computer and interface?
he's a guy.
He's a guy?
He calls himself SoCal Burns.
Oh, so he's a...
He's so cool he burns.
So he's an actual person?
Yep.
Why did I think he was a computer?
Because he works a computer.
Oh, okay.
He also doesn't walk very fast because he's very unfit.
Well,
Like,
you've also
Desrin,
probably
every
never
other
actually
needs
met
to
him in
sleep.
person before.
Sorry, what was that, Desrin?
You may not have ever met him in person before.
No, I don't think I have, but...
It's just a voice on the phone or a computer-generated avatar on the screen.
I introduced myself to SoCal.
And he says, "I know you are. Been working there for years."
This is good, but I don't know who you are, so how can I make that presumption without being impervious? Oh, your mouth is full. Sorry, we will wait for you to finish chewing. Well, I write down...
I was letting Jeremy answer for him for the moment.
Oh, okay, yep. It's okay, I was making notes about names because I'm really bad at remembering things.
Okay. Your character has been hanging around with the gang for a while, have you not?
I've been here since the start, but I haven't been in a game for about like...
No, the character, not
Oh,
the...
the character.
The character has been hanging around the gang
Yes.
that the party was
Since
effectively
day
part
one,
of.
yes.
And the point is that SoCal has been the computer tech for the gang.
Oh, I see. He's been here all along as well.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought he might be someone you guys
That's
have
right.
talked
You've
to.
known him for years,
Yeah.
although you may not ever actually have met him in person.
Okay, so I don't introduce myself to SoCal. I say, hey buddy, how are you doing?
He says, I had to leave home. He's so distraught.
Yeah, I can see how that would be distressing. Is there anything we can do that might make you feel better short of taking you
If
back home?
Desmond was awake, he would have made a comment about the fact that, yeah, but look what you come to.
That's true.
Yeah, but he had to leave his online game.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so
you can
sorry.
you can log it on from here and you got a much better system.
Possibly, but he couldn't bring all his hardware with him. Too much to log. Okay, so he starts telling you that he's been researching into this Japanese guy.
That's a Sori Soirayami.
Keep referring to him as a Japanese guy, no matter how many times you correct him.
Soirayama. Yeah, okay. Can we just call him So Yummy?
You can call him that if you wish to.
Okay. I mispronounce him as well, but that's easy. I won't have to look at my page all the time. Okay, so what has he found out?
That's what I'm trying to get back to.
So okay, take your time. I'm still writing.
Because amusingly, it's all in different sections of the book, and I've got to figure out which one it was in that I was looking at.
I'm still making notes. So he's the Japanese Yakuza? No,
he's the Japanese cyber surgeon.
He's the surgeon.
Okay, it's not
Did
that one.
the cyberware for
The world-renowned
Maria
cybernetic.
before she was discovered by Hernandez.
Yeah. No, Theron, you can't have ice cream. You're lactose intolerant. So he's a cybernetic.
I think he deserves ice cream.
I can get him some lactose-free ice cream, so he'll eat that. Otherwise, I won't give a poor animal tummy aches he doesn't want. What about chicken? Do you want chicken? Yeah? Chicken will do? Yeah. I'll give him some chicken. That'll be better.
Well, he does identify. He did identify that it was the Shigenda Yakuza syndicate that was particularly responsible for what was happening.
Can you spell Shigenda?
As in they're the ones behind New Horizons, or
They're the ones who appear to be behind New Horizons. That's SHIGEDA.
EDA. Right, and they're New Horizons, essentially. Is that right?
That is pretty much it.
Is there any
Crap,
other
that's not the
information
button I
on
wanted. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get back to where I was. And I've apparently opened a different window. Come on, computer. Please don't do that to me.
It's supposed to be inconvenient time. That's what it was supposed to.
Well, it's because I'm trying to do things with my left hand while I'm eating with my right hand.
I could
It's not
continue
always
to,
easy.
Have conversations about ice cream with Georgie and Rakesh.
Okay, so he does say he was able to find that there's a fixer in Seattle that is willing to sell him the address for Soriyama.
Yep.
But that's his net address, so we can try connecting to him and finding out more info. But to do so, you would have to trace the fixer down and get the address from it.
Okay. I gather this might require money. Is Maria happy to fund that?
Hernandez has offered to fund the activities.
Okay.
And I'm sure Hernandez would be perfectly happy to fund any activities that would find out more information about Maria.
Yes.
So,
Let's organise getting to that fixer and getting that address. Considering that Desrin's sleeping at the moment, we can either split the party, like I could take Georgie and Rakesh maybe, or we could just wait until we wake up later on and have a rest. If people want to, because I presume Georgie and Rakesh are also tired.
but they probably get better willpower than Desrin.
Oh, okay.
So they're probably able to
What do
push
you
a bit
guys
harder.
want to do though?
Yeah, Georgie's basically a toddler. He's got toddler energy.
And let's face it, Georgie also has already had a good rest in the last 24, 48 hours because he got healed up at the
Clinic.
Brotherhood.
Yeah, and he basically falls asleep at the drop of a hat halfway through combat. He don't care.
And the couches here are so comfortable.
Oof.
So the question to the group is, do you guys want to have a proper rest and then go check out this fixer together? Or I can go with one, all, or none of you. I'd rather it be a group
Bags
sport.
not split up the party.
Yeah, I'd rather not, but I'm just seeing what the vote is.
Well, obviously as a character I'm not voting because I'm asleep. As a player,
Would you like us to wait for you?
Did SoCal say that you needed to meet this guy in person, or did you have a contact number? Did you give him a call and say, "Hey, look, I think you got some data to sell"?
He says you'd have to get it from him in person because
he did, yeah.
While he's got a matrix address for this person, he doesn't do the transactions over the matrix.
Right, okay.
That's why I was asking about cash and going there in person.
Yeah, okay. And so then, does he know where it is, or you've got to try and do some legwork to actually work out where this guy's physical location will be?
Well, you can ping him and the fixer will arrange a meet with you. So the fixer's more than happy to go to different places. Doesn't always have to be on their turf.
Yep.
But they generally don't make themselves visible until they've got a meet.
Yep.
So,
No, that's fine.
I was just trying to figure out, do we schedule that for like in 5 or 6 hours, or
You could schedule it in dawn.
at dawn?
So,
Okay.
well, or it's a case of, I would suggest contacting him and saying, "Hey, we want to do a meet."
Yep.
Preferably at this sort of time, but obviously it also comes back to if he says, "Hey, I'll meet you now," or "I'll meet you in 10 minutes," or "I'll meet you in 10 hours,"
Yep.
then
Let's
we
do that.
want to see him, so he can probably set the time and place if he's going to go down that pathway. So
So we'll do that. If we want to determine where, do we have any preferences?
Normally you don't get to determine where.
Okay, so you just ask them.
You ask them, and
cool.
because fixers are a higher tier than a Shadowrunner,
Okay.
the fixer gets to call more of the shots.
Okay, so they get more respect and more.
Because if you burn a fixer, you can
choice.
burn your career.
Okay, awesome. Good to know. I asked Carl to set it up.
He says it'll probably take until a couple of hours for the guy to get back to him. He doesn't always respond straight away.
Yep.
Always
so
got a lot on.
In the meantime, I'll have a rest and I'll ask SoCal if he's up to it, if he can keep looking into things online, because he offered so graciously. And I might have a chat to the guys if they're awake. Pass the time, play some poker or something.
Okay, so that they seem to have in the gymnasium a gun setup that allows you to turn it into a virtual firing range.
Ooh, I would like to do some practice.
And you get to do some practice shooting with what appears to be a high-powered gun.
Wow.
It doesn't actually have any bullets in it, but from what the other people tell you, it's the same caliber type that Maria has in her leg.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. I will put in some practice and share it with the other people we want to practice as well.
So as you guys practice, you realize that it is an extremely hard training course. And most of you are
hard physically or hard mentally?
Physically and mentally to
Okay.
actually do, because it's moving fast.
Okay.
It is small targets, and the reload time on the gun is enough to throw a lot of people off.
Oh wow.
yeah,
Okay.
you realise the fact that you're playing on level 1 and finding it really hard, and you note the fact that when Maria uses this, she's normally playing on level 10.
It appears to be customized to her needs.
Well, you presume so. It's her system. I will practice as much as I'm allowed to until the meet.
Okay, so about midnight, after Desrin's been asleep for a couple of hours, you have SoCal walk in, says the Johnson got back, well, the fixer got back. He says he'll be available at Underground 88 in an hour or so.
Okay.
And he'll
Is
be...
that far away?
That's not too far away. He says you should be able to take a taxi or walk there.
Let's make Hernandez front for a taxi. And maybe get some, not just payment money for the fixer, but some money for, like, getting around. I ask nicely for said funds. And I say please. And I use my Shadow Star adorable eyes look.
Well, do you actually tell Hernandez what's going on?
I give him an update, if that's okay. How much detail are we happy giving him? Does he know everything?
Well,
I don't want him going off and shooting people.
you would have heard Desrin when we came back in before he collapsed to sleep. Effectively giving him a full update on everything we had in the Barrens Club stuff. So.
Okay. So I would have just updated him on the fact that we need to go out and get this fixer. We will probably have to pay for the information that we're after. Was SoCal able to gauge an estimate of the kind of money we might need?
You said about 1,000 credits.
So yeah, I give him that. SoCal thinks it should be about 1,000, but it would be really nice if we could just take a taxi, more direct, less complications, there and back.
He says he'd be happy to reimburse. He just doesn't have much on him right now, considering you did break him out of his apartment without any of his, without all of his gear.
Fair enough. What about Maria though?
Well, remember also that the party has lots of money right now.
Do we?
You haven't told her about the other 3 jobs.
Okay, well, in that case, I won't press on anything then. I didn't know we had money.
Right, okay, you still don't know we have money, but...
out of character, we're over rich.
If we're over rich, why the hell haven't I got money here?
Because you went there when they got paid.
I'm teasing.
And because we haven't had time to actually spend the money yet.
Yeah.
So
technically, we haven't had time to earn the money yet either, but that's the point.
it's literally the second day after they got the money.
Oh, okay. Alright.
That's how long they've had the money for.
Alright,
and they got 100.
We also haven't even begun to complete things that we got paid to do.
And they've got about 160,000 each, with nothing to actually, no chance to spend it.
That sounds all good. We should probably work out and buy some vehicles for us to use. But until then, I use my app to book A to B taxi services to get us from A to B.
What about the stripper service, Boomer?
No, I don't think we need that service right now.
Boomer doesn't operate in downtown because they like to go where they're less obvious.
Fair enough.
And also I call the Brotherhood place where Flogger and that were, and check in to see if we've heard anything about their service.
Okay, you get a recorded message saying that their office hours are between blah and blah, and that as it's currently after midnight, they will return a call after you leave a message.
Okay, I leave a message asking if they can give us an update when they've got time. I very much appreciate that. And then round the guys up, pass Desrin a coffee if he drinks it, and tell him we're on our way.
It takes about 5 minutes of shaking to get Desrin to wake up, and he's at the same spot of the same dream as you wake him up.
I'm sorry. I really am.
Out of curiosity, Martin, something that I hadn't registered in the script as well. Technically, Desrin had 5 wounds from the previous combating that we've been involved in.
I've got.
Did he particularly have the chance to get healed up at the Brotherhood?
Oh yeah.
He had not actually asked for help at the time, so I'm going to say he healed 1 overnight.
Okay.
So how much more has he got to go?
4.
Okay. Maybe we should stop back by the Brotherhood after we deal with this fixer bloke and get you fixed up and check in on Flogger, Womp and Bolt at the same time.
It's just a flesh wound. I'll be fine.
Yeah, that's what I said, after the fixer. We've got to check in on them anyway. Might as well.
Okay, so hang on.
We're going to go see the fixer, get what we need. Sorry?
Which fixer?
The fixer I just told you about when I woke you up from your motorbike.
SoCal's fixer.
SoCal's fixer.
Well, but remember, okay, Desrin fell asleep before we did explore.
Yeah, no, but as I was waking you up, even though it took 5 minutes, I said before that happened, I rounded everyone up, woke you up, gave you an update of what's happening, gave you a coffee and said we need to get going.
Right. Great.
I can repeat all of that if you need me to.
I got it.
A to B is downstairs.
It's just that, as I say, we have dealt with about 5 fixers in the last 48 hours.
Do we have a name for this fixer?
You do not. He has your contact details.
Okay, so Sokol doesn't have those details.
He didn't get them, so...
He didn't pass on the name. He just said the guy is looking for Desrin.
How will we be able to verify he's the right guy?
He'll be the guy asking for 1,000 credits for a Matrix link.
Okay, alright, I will...
Who walked up to Desrin because he recognised him?
Yeah, that's what I'm writing down right now. Did you say it was a Matrix link?
Matrix link, yes.
Okay, cool.
It's the equivalent of web address.
My mouth is working very well today. And that he will know Desrin when he sees him.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so you take a cab to Underground 88, which is very familiar to some of you, having been here only 2 days previously. There's no police activity here tonight, considering, well, you guys did leave the scene and it has been 2 days.
Yep.
And
What did they do last time?
they were going into a gunfight.
Of course. Okay.
Well, this is where we first met up. We started the job as bodyguard for Maria.
Oh, I see.
And as soon as we said yes, or even before we said yes, Maria got attacked.
Okay.
So we defended Maria, but there was lots of gunfire in the public nightclub, but we snuck out the back way before the flashing lights arrived.
Okay, alright, cool.
Okay, you get to the door and you find out there's actually no show on today. It's the club itself is pretty much closed, but they seem to have some sort of private function. And the bouncer seems to recognise Desrin.
I was about to say, yeah, that's okay, we're just here for the food.
It says, you and your friends are welcome in, he says. I was told to look out for you. They said, pretentious elf dressed like a ancient. Does that fit the bill, sir?
I did give him a deadpan look. That did not faze him as usual.
Well, no, the mystery that I was thinking of was, so you mean every member of the Ancients gang? Pretentious elf dressed like an ancient? That'd be an ancient.
I didn't even know that the Ancients was a gang. And which elf? Is it Desrin that's the pretentious elf?
Yeah, no, he's talking about
okay.
Desrin.
Yeah.
Desrin's dressed up as if he is a member of the Ancients.
Oh, I see. Okay, well that helps.
But then, yeah, he's coming in saying, who are we meeting again?
A fixer of SoCal.
Who the hell can book out Underground 88 for a private function for us to meet?
SoCal couldn't tell me a name. He said that this guy'd recognise you and that he'd have the Matrix links we wanted and it cost us about $1,000.
As we start to enter past the bodyguard, Desrin's going to say, are you expecting any others for the party this evening?
Oh no, you're the last ones here, which is why I knew it was going to be you, sir.
Very good. So,
you hear him shut the door and the locks click.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you go, if I had gone to an ice cream party, this could be deja vu.
I was going to say, do all we need to add is ice cream?
You hear what appears to be a melodic voice from the other room singing a language you've never heard before.
Squirtfield?
Very much so.
Ah.
Who's this?
It's the
I'll
other language. You've seen it, but you've never actually heard it in person.
Yes, okay. And yeah, okay, so having walked into Underground 88, it is apparently deserted except for some singing in the next room.
Oh, you can hear singing in the next room, and as you go up to look out the dance floor, you see that there's probably about 2,000 or 3,000 people here, all dressed in ancient colours, all elven.
Wow. That's huge.
Hey, maybe there's a reason my dream kept recurring. It was premonitory.
And as you come in, a spotlight lights up on you, and everything goes dead silent.
Desrin will continue to walk forward, possibly indicating with a slight suggestion that the others might want to disappear, but hey, that's up to them.
So you have a
fade into the background.
You have a feeling that no matter where the others stand in the place, they will stand out like a sore thumb, because you're the only one amongst them dressed in the colours that everyone else here is dressed in.
Yes. But there's still a case of they might stand out, but they could stand out of the spotlight.
And as they slowly slide off to the side, with Rakesh trying to avoid being around a room full of elves, Desrin sees another spotlight light up on a table off to the far side of the room.
Okay, I will be walking towards the stage area where if there was the singing initially, and then spotlight coming up on another table, he will start to move in that direction, but aiming to take a pathway, like if there's tables around throughout the room type stuff where people will sit in, he'll aim to basically take a pathway that allows the minimum number of zigzag. So basically, potentially go straight towards the stage and then straight left towards the other table or something equivalent type stuff.
Okay, so you
just want to weave between tables if you can avoid it.
As you're walking there, you hear the crunching of your boot on the ground as you walk. It's that quiet.
And I'm assuming that I don't recognise any of these elves.
You've seen some of them in the Ancients propaganda.
Yes.
Especially the websites you've been haunting.
Yep. And by taking a less direct route to the table with the spotlight, we'll potentially give him time to at least be looking over in that direction to see if he can see who's sitting at that table.
There appears to be one guy in a long jacket with a hood pulled in such a way that his face is hidden in darkness.
Right.
But he's definitely an elf the way the ears stick out at the side of the hood.
Well, and with the style that he's got, he must be an elf.
Well, he is wearing the Ancients merchandise hoodie.
Yeah. Okay, well, and who's up on stage?
Looking up, you see one of the celebrity ancients who has been known to do singing tours here and in Portland.
Okay.
She gives you a wink as you look in her direction.
I will give her a wave, and particularly in the sense of when I do the turn away from the stage towards the table, I will be giving her a wave to say, with a kind of indication of, later. Hey, this is perfectly appropriate and comfortable that I'm not concerned in any way, shape or form.
Okay, so the others are watching Desrin walk in almost complete silence across the floor, hearing every footstep he makes as he walks across there.
Wow.
So is that a silent spell, or what's going on?
Everyone there is remaining completely still and watching.
There was a lot of vague chatter and bits and pieces, listening to the singing, but just chatter in the background. But as soon as I walked in, everyone went silent, and presumably their heads have been turning as I slowly walk down the room.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone's watching Desrin walk. I'm sure some of them are holding up signs, but hey, he doesn't notice.
What's the average score?
Below 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he doesn't wiggle well enough.
Oh, you've got to put some more wiggle in that walk.
Okay, so as soon as you get to the table with the spotlight, you feel the one that was on you turn off, and music start picking up in the club again.
Is this seat taken?
He gestures for you to sit down.
I will take a seat, and so sitting down in front of him, can I get a better look of exactly what he looks like? Would I recognise him?
Clean shaven, his eyes have a unearthly blue colour to it, with an actual glow that is not cyber.
But hopefully not the same sort of glow that the guys that attacked here 2 nights ago had.
Theirs was red, his is blue.
Oh, much better then. Okay, I feel so much more comfortable.
You have a feeling he's looking into your soul. And he says, "So, Desrin, I hear you've been wanting to join us."
I can do it. You won't see a rider like me.
He laughs at that. He pauses for a moment, then laughs and says, "Well, that depends on how well you survive the week." He puts a data chip on the table and he says, "I believe this is what you're looking for. Hopefully, it doesn't kill you."
I've got it with you. Whoa. Yes, and I believe that you're expecting the payment.
He says we can handle the payment a little later, depending on if you live. If you live, you can pay us. If you die, we'll just call it a learning exercise.
Okay.
Don't worry, I know where you live now.
Do you know exactly what this data pertains to?
I do. But you will have to find out for yourself.
Okay. You know,
Consider it a test.
I kind of expected the entry test would involve riding.
Any sucker can ride, he says.
Not like me.
I've seen your movie footage. It was fantastic, he says. He liked what you did with the van.
It was so much easier to control when I put it on 2 wheels.
And I said, this isn't your only test. This is just a test.
Well,
Is this like some sort of initiation thing?
Well, apparently, it's certainly not one that everyone was expecting at this time, especially on the idea of, hang on, he wanted to be an ancient, but hey, he didn't think anyone actually noticed it, as much as you might talk about it. So,
your friend Sercal talks highly of you.
Well, well, I won't fail you. So, do I know the name that he goes by? Based upon my research and websites and the publicity shots and everything?
Everything you can gather is he's one of the unnamed, unknown higher-ups, because you never get any of the bosses on film, on camera, or making statements.
Okay. Do I know what sort of rank or title they might be given?
You believe he'd be one of the captains of the Ancients.
Okay, so I will give him a statement of, hey, I got this. I won't fail, Captain.
He chuckles and says, "See that you don't. I'm sure that one of the other interested parties from the Elven lands might take an interest in you if things don't go so well." He says, showing his teeth at that point, giving you a hint that he's referring to a dragon.
Yep, I was going to say was the fact that Jacob is going to be more explicit in the question. Are you aware of other interested parties in this particular task that we're running on, beyond certain Japanese influences and those from the deep south?
He is aware of someone who is looking for what he calls unique acquisitions, and he's currently based out of Germany.
Okay. Yeah.
And he has a tendency to wear a lot of gold.
Well, he can afford it. I think, yes, that's right. Hey, don't talk about it to me, because you're saying if I pass this, I can get in.
No, I think if you pass this, we'll consider you. Your name will actually be spoken amongst the ancients.
That's right. Jason's not necessarily hearing the conversation now. He's just, wow.
You need that motorbike ride. Riding off into the sunset.
Thank you for your time, Captain. I'll see you again very soon.
As you stand up from the table to go, the spotlight on the table goes out and one lights up on Desrin and everything goes silent again.
Interesting. How this interesting sort of way of just focusing on one person.
So and the rest of you hear, the rest of you hear the clacking of his boots as he walks across the room again.
Okay. When Jen stands up before he actually starts walking off and says, "I'm sure I don't need to interrupt the festivities any further," and he'll aim to walk somewhat faster on the way out than he did on the way in. If there's no hint of the fact that, oh, hang on, yet they will continue it, or they're waiting for him to go. So
you have a feeling they're waiting for you to go because, yes. Well, you're not an ancient yet, and you have interrupted their party.
Which is why, as I say, he came
the
into...
points to make him feel uncomfortable? Oh, I see. So not special, but awkward.
But okay, so he's why he's aiming to be somewhat more swift on his way out than he was on the way in.
Okay, the moment you step off the dance floor and up the stairs leading to the exit, you hear the music and the hubbub pick up again as if you were never there.
Declan's tempted to just
step back
outside the room.
Yeah, step back out again to see if they'll stop.
No, not going in. He just wants to stop and listen and possibly gaze in if the door's open or anything like that.
Get that misty look in his eyes.
You see lots of people wearing actual ancient clothing that you've only ever dreamed of seeing up close.
What does this look like?
Basically green leathers.
Green leathers? Okay, cool. It's kind of like leaf type green.
More like biker type green.
Oh, okay, yeah.
With like the anarchy style A on it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, ancient.
Except of course it stands for ancient, not anarchy.
Yeah.
But it's a very similar symbol.
That's right. And most people would say that they do cause anarchy. So, being one of the most powerful motorcycle gangs in Seattle and with chapters all over the world.
Yeah, yeah.
Or at least all over UCAS anyway, definitely. So Desrin is actually, he will be aiming to stand and wait, listen, looking whether or not he gets dragged away by others.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Stop listening, Google.
Apparently someone was trying to listen to you. Okay, so yes, as you are listening, the others catch up to you and try to get your attention.
Okay, so Desmond's going to be. Okay, he'll have to be dragged away before we really be talking.
we appropriately move him on.
And as Desrin sets the foot out on the pavement, he hears the sound of what appears to be a motorbike coming from inside the club.
All your dreams.
He'll start to step back in again.
If I'm standing behind him, I kind of keep trying to nudge him forward.
And then the door clicks shut as everyone steps out, and then as the a motorcycle fades into the nothingness.
For a second there, I thought I was going to have to promise Georgie ice cream in order to get the elf to move.
Right, so Georgie is not B1, he's relatively helpful and kind of nice.
I love the relative.
Yeah, relative to B1.
Relative to Bella.
Or relative to Dimitri.
Is it our taxi?
Your taxi is still here.
Yep, awesome.
Well, it doesn't have a driver, so it waits until it's ordered.
Yeah. Take us back to Maria's? No, take us to the hospital.
Okay.
It's still 1 a.m. in the morning, or 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, I presume they've got an emergency department.
What for?
To see whether or not they've got any news about Flogger and...
Didn't they say they were going to call us?
That's right. I think that it's the case that...
Okay.
I'll let us know when there's news.
We can go back home then, that's fine.
Okay, so you take the
Taxi?
Because Desmond certainly wants to get this data chip back to SoCal, and also ask how the hell SoCal was able to line up a meeting with the captain of the Ancients.
We head back home.
Not that I'm disappointed with it, but hey.
Okay, so SoCal gets the elevator for you guys, considering you forgot he was there last time when you were making phone calls. He's more than happy to send it down for you. And
Also, the fact that he's probably taken control of the system and might be acting as a spider in the system with extra security at this stage. So.
he does say that there's already a spider in the system, and he can only touch it lightly. It is a high quality apartment. It has a constant spider on the system.
Yeah, that's why being the fact that that spider is not dedicated to Maria's apartment. It's a building spider.
He doesn't know. Hard to tell.
Okay.
It could be building or it could be personal. She pays enough for this place.
Yeah. Well, and I guess also obviously the actual elevator and security system is probably offset to the rest of the building system anyway, so whether the rigger is actually connected to both systems at the same time or in that sort of way. Yeah. Anyway, not important. More important is, what the hell did you tell me you was the captain we were going to see?
Well, he didn't know. He's just he knew this guy through this girl he dated.
Jason takes a sideline look, thinking, dated a girl?
Well, we used to hang out in the online games all the time.
He just came over and thought of, how did he get a girl?
And then he goes into this whole how they raided together on many occasions.
And so Jason realised, date, yes, understanding now.
Depends on type of game.
So well, hey, he gave us this data. But haven't had a chance to look at it yet. So
I'd be wary plugging it into any of your systems. You don't have any safeties on board.
Okay, well, that's convenient that I didn't get round to it then. I'm a bit distracted on the way home. Have you got something that's worth reading it on?
Oh yeah, I've got my portable rig here today.
Marvellous. So this apparently will tell us the web address of this Soriyama, is that the thought?
Well, it's a direct link, so when we plug it in, we can go straight there without having to search for it.
So that makes things easier for you. Because I'm guessing that we're still talking Japan here, so...
Okay, so he takes it from you quite happily and plugs it into his system. He says he's connecting to the local Seattle hub Green 4, and it's taking him over to Chiba to Orange 3. And he says it appears that Soriyama's clinic is somewhere here.
So, did you say there were certain hubs just then? Yep.
Matrix hubs.
Oh, okay. Yep. Right.
So,
as in like exchange points.
Yep.
Telephone exchange, effectively.
okay, he seems to be having a happy noises as he's saying, oh cool, he's got his own virtual appearance of his hub. Everything's done as classic Japanese samurais and monsters.
I was going to say, I don't suppose he's got a view screen displaying what he's seeing or anything at this stage?
When you say that, he taps a few keys and you see it pop up on the TV screen.
The 177-inch display on Maria's wall.
Yep.
Yeah, only 177 inch?
Well, she normally doesn't need the screen. She can just project it virtually and see a screen without actually having to have one there.
But remember, this is also in one of the off bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the main living area.
Yeah, yep.
So you see what appears to be a towering gatehouse of a classic samurai castle with a high pagoda-like tower blocks the way, with a massive closed and barred gate.
And so he's giving a running commentary of where it's going, or is it?
He's saying he's trying to bypass the gate itself. He says it seems to be a Red 3 node, meaning it might actually have something rather nasty on here if he trips it. And as he tries to do so, I will give him a roll and see if he
can not distract you.
He says, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah. Everything.
Not to me.
He can use the story point if you want. Because Desrin can consider what the worst, or so Jeremy can consider what the worst can happen is.
Okay, so
I'm not sure I want to imagine what the worst can happen is.
he succeeds with no issues getting through the gatehouse. And he appears to be in an 8-sided walled enclosure guarded by a fierce-looking samurai armed warrior with a conch shell trumpet.
Oh.
He says, I might have to get past this guy to go any further. It seems to be an Orange 5 system. So he's going to try to deceive it again with his system. Okay, so it appears that SoCal is on the ball. He's the man. He managed to sneak his way past this node into the next section.
I'm actually just wondering here on the idea, okay, we're watching from the screen, we can't actually do anything, but I wonder, can we do any skill checks or give him blue dice or things like that?
Yeah.
But I don't think there's any way we can actually help. So.
Okay, he seems to be heading sequentially through the system, trying to find what he's looking for. Okay, so he's come into what appears to be a sophisticated range of bioscanners, holographic imaging systems, and so on. It appears to be very much set up as a long gallery along a castle wall, each window of the gallery presenting a different scene, and each scene is from an input device of someone.
So accurately, is he giving because obviously we're seeing on the screen, but I don't think any of us have much of a computer skill. So if he is giving a running commentary on what he's seeing, Desrin's certainly interested in the interpretations of it.
Okay, so
if it's not, I can certainly understand. I don't really want him being distracted by giving us commentary. He might just be, I'm happy if he's talking under his breath about, this is pretty impressive.
So he seems to pass through a barrier with an 8-sided garden with bonsai trees and red stones in the center, with a clear pool, and its depth has data transfers flash like golden fish. And one end of the garden is blocked by a high wall.
So this is all virtual, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the fact that it's also graphically detailed implies that it's exceptionally expensive virtual system. That obviously means it's also potentially that much more dangerous to work in.
Okay, so he has accessed another system. So he seems to have found what he calls the data store. It appears as a busy counting house for the castle's business transactions, and it has a feudal Japanese look to the whole place. Okay, so he's trying to deceive his way into the entrance, he says, as he's standing over it. Let's see if he manages to make it through. He does. As he steps over the entrance, you see the entrance fall away behind him into a bottomless pit.
Okay.
And
Desrin's ready to jack him out if he looks like he's getting into significant problems.
And he starts to be pulling scrolls out of racks in the wall, and each seems to be records. And there seems to be thousands of them here.
Wow.
Okay.
So he pulls out something that seems, he quickly scans and put it away. Joe Samurai muscle implant, level 2, 150,000 new yen.
I'm trying to remember, did he give us any information in the legwork we had? It had the year of the...
It was 84. It was 84. Sorry, Yama. 84 is the number 84.
Okay, yeah. So, obviously, Desrin will be quietly saying, "Yep, 84 Surama." I'm assuming he probably remembers much better than Desrin would, but it might just be a hint of if he's looking through the places to look for. There might be an easier way of searching.
Okay, so taking your advice, he plugs in the search details, and apparently he gets just enough successes, one success on all that dice, to get through. And
it's all the expert advantages, isn't it?
It is. So I'll make it bigger for you.
We'll take the failures is the population we get.
Yeah. So hopefully it's a little easier to read.
It's more the idea that I'm not 100% certain of what the different symbols are. So that's
okay. So the star symbol.
It's the star is success,
and the U for dot between the top of the U is an advantage.
An advantage, yeah. I thought that was the case, but it was, yeah.
Okay, so as he's talking his way through it, he goes, "Oh, this must be it. I'm downloading now, but I'll give you the what I can read of it as I go. Ultra Design 84 commissioned 6 of the 13 44 by Genesys, who my sources identify as an As technology rep. Subject Maria Angula, apparently under standard indenture to corporation. Almost reluctant to undertake modifications, but even when nature accidentally creates such beauty, art can improve upon it. Estimate time to completion at 90 to 120 days. Specifications include novel dermal replacement, C attachment, heightened reflex responses, improvement in musculature and various cortical implants, additional fees specified for the new ultra-secure sealed memory space, modified to be transparent to most current scanning technologies. Direct interface modifications also route primary data link plugs through pleasure-pain centers of brain. I have pointed out to the client that this will intensify many cybernetic activities to the point of endangering subject sanity. SimSense, direct data access, even synth linking a simple music generator will have profound effects on the subject. This is acceptable to the client. And he says it continues for several hundred pages with accompanying medical data, pictures of Maria in various stages of modification and so forth. Notes indicate that the use of a synth link to train her in the use of her neural circuits had the greatest success. Suriyama notes, subject appears to find the concentration involved in synth linking sufficient to control possible psychological trauma due to the pleasure plane interface of the data jack. Near the end, the following appears. Per instructions from client, applied customized SimSense chip at a legal high amplitude to subject until dependence was established. Subject response indicated profound addiction after 10 days of 2 exposures per day. At the end of the medical report, a brief note is appended. Surprised and not a little bit pleased to observe the subject recently on Trivid. Apparently she was released from indenture and is now an artist of renown under the name Maria Mercurial. Though the music is not to my taste, the performance of her modifications is obviously still at appropriate standards. Pursuing references to her in various popular journals, I suspect that the subject suffers psychological damage from extended exposure to high amplitude SimSense edition, but has somehow overcome the dependency. Judging from the intensity of the SimLink performance, this may be ascribed to the effects of the pleasure pain interface of the data jack. So the music becomes, in itself, an influence stronger than the SimSense addiction. This may be the subject of an interesting future monologue. And there's another entry about 2 months ago. It notes that an As technology rep requested a copy of the file, which was delivered to a system address in Seattle, and it gives you a address. And basically saying, jackpot, we seem to have found what we're looking for.
That certainly looks like what we wanted. You did a great job. Get out before you get caught.
As he jumps out, you see sparks and noise come from his box, and then just black smoke rising from it.
Wow. So
he manages to pull out the data just before his rig fries.
But he also jumps out himself?
He does jump out himself.
Has he got dump shock? Is he jumping out?
He was on his way out when he triggered it. Leaving actually triggered the ice.
Right.
Because he didn't leave by the normal exit.
Does that mean they know where we are?
He doesn't think so. He thinks that it was just backlash of leaving. It was a top-end system. You won't find many systems that good.
Yeah.
He may have tripped a few things on his way, and they basically just sent backlash with him to fry his system.
Right, you did good. Trust me. We can fix this. We can replace this.
So they got her addicted to something that pushed her over the pleasure plane threshold to the point that she went insane, but the music kind of brought her back?
The music apparently brought her back, yes.
Yeah, okay.
But she was addicted to it to make her easier to control.
Yeah, I just wanted to simplify all of that information because it was quite a lot of information.
But also, one of the important bits that I was curious in there was, so there were 2 addendums. One of them they said was 2 months ago, which was where the like I said, Axe Technology requested a copy of the file.
And not long after she was completed, she had become a superstar.
Yeah, but do we know how long that gap was?
About a year.
Right, okay, so after she got done, she was effectively out of out of the public eye for at least a year or so after the modifications she recovered from them, but then she popped up as the music star at that point.
That is correct.
Which actually fits what we know in the sense that the modifications were done about a year before she became a megastar.
Yep.
But the other factor that was important is there, and I can't remember whether or not we'd already discussed it, whether SoCal's scan of her cyberware, where we found out about Koreama in the first place. Did he find that memory implant?
No, it's still hidden from even his scanners. He says
Even if you don't go to look for it?
Now that he knows it's there, he's sure he still can't find it. His system, now that it's fried, definitely won't be able to scan for it.
He'll need a new system, I guess.
You need to upgrade.
Yeah. That'll be expensive, but...
It will, he says. He custom
course,
built most of his own components.
Maybe
The
some of that
other
comes under...
vital... Take on.
Go, Redmond.
I was going to say maybe some of that will come under expenses for the job. Because Hernandez offered to...
Hernandez doesn't have a lot of money.
But
Exactly.
maybe Maria might...
It's more likely it'll come under
helping her.
things that we spend the money on that we've earned.
Oh, yeah, I forgot we've got money. I keep forgetting that, because...
But the other important factor, of course, was the idea that it was Axe Technology that apparently paid for the cyberware in the first place, and then also
that the Dragon Knights work for the Az Technology.
That's right, and then also. So what do we know about this? Did they give the name of the Axe Technology guy at the end there?
They gave the name of what her name was at Az Technology.
It was Maria.
Aguilar or something?
Yep.
But at the end, you said Axe Technology rep. Did they give a name for the rep and the web address or whatever?
They gave a web address, yes, but that would have been recent.
That was 2 months ago.
And SoCal says he does recognize it. It is an address for somewhere in the Barrens, in Redmond.
Perhaps about the corner of 7th and 14th Streets,
He says,
i.e. that Seattle building?
quite possibly, he says, because if anything, it's probably still got a matrix connection.
But I'm guessing that your system's not up for doing any decking at the present time then.
No, he can try repairing it, or he can just replace it, but repairing it or replacing it will take time.
Yeah, that's understandable. Okay, well, we will certainly talk to Hernandez and Maria and see if the information jogs any memories of her, for her or things like that.
She has no memory from being since she was found, from before she was found by Hernandez.
Yeah, that's right, but that's right, just like whether or not potentially the idea of, hey, if evidence indicates that Axe Technology paid for your cyberware or things like that, and that you had the name Maria Aguilar, and basically, yeah, we'll be going through and providing all those sort of data points that may or may not help the amnesia. So, but I'm guessing not, that's okay.
So what does this mean in terms of our investigation? Do we know that yet?
It means that you know she is connected to Az Technology, which you only had hints of before.
That's right, yes. The confirmation, and that Az Technology sided her up, but she wasn't particularly volunteering for that.
She was an indentured servant at the time.
That's right. Presumably she was a subordinate being told to do. And in fact, I think
She seemed reluctant.
there was some of the stories we heard about Koyama and the specialist jobs that he does was for high-end, expensive procedures that might provide modifications for not purely the individual's benefit.
They're normally to the benefit of the person who pays it, not the person who receives it.
Well, yeah.
So,
potentially she'd been effectively pressed into prostitution before she became a prostitute.
and most likely the data store is there as a secure vault that even she can't access.
Yeah.
But that if she was, say, some executive's plaything secretary,
Yeah.
or as a perfect reason to always be by their side, and also
She's got
acting
this.
as the memory store of
Yeah.
any classified or sensitive data that
She's
the
got this
executive might be
souped up
thinking of.
memory. Yeah.
It gives you understanding of why she's so kick-ass when push comes to shove.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm about to say. The fact that she's a not only is it a data store that becomes very hard to access that even she can't access, but she also provides protection for that data store because of all the cyberware that she's got to actually turn her into a weapon that not only would be a bodyguard for the executive, but also very secure storage. But yes.
He says when he gets his system up and running, he can try to deck into the building in the Barrens. Might take him a couple of days to sort it out, though.
Right. Well, can he do a bit of a search on just like a generic cyber search on Maria Aguilar and see if there's any references or records of her in X technology? I'm not asking X technology by the sound, just public records.
Okay, so what he's been able to find out from her publicly is that she's not listed under employee of as technology, meaning she must be prior crash employee.
Prior what?
Prior to the crash of
Oh,
29 when the Barons lost everything.
Thank you.
But like, she was seemingly the employee of X technology in the 2040s.
She was most likely an employee in the 2040s, which was when the cyberware was put in. Let me just confirm that for you, because I just had that there. Where is it? Yes, when you have so many different sections to jump through, it's always fun. She was installed in 44, so basically it meant that she predated the crash of 20. She was after the crash of 29.
Yeah.
And you wonder why she's not listed anywhere on as technology's public feeds. She wasn't important enough to be listed.
Either that, or she was too important,
Yeah.
Or
That's the more likely
was
scenario.
or was subsequently scrubbed when she was lost.
Okay, so he tries to have another look for her relating to the plastics company. Okay, he says I got a little bit more luck looking here. It appears she was there when the plastic company went bust with another executive.
Can Can we find out who that executive was?
Just digging to that now so I can actually tell you.
Okay, right.
Because again, it's at a different point of the book.
Because that was the other question I was going to check on. I couldn't remember whether or not in Troyana's file they didn't name the original Ace Technology rep, did they?
They did not.
But they gave her name, but they didn't give his name except for, like, yeah, look at Thompson's son.
It has a name, Tex Machat.
Texamachach.
So TEXAMACHACH.
Okay.
He was a executive that died in 2045.
2045, which you're saying was
Around the time Maria.
about a year after she got modified.
Yep. And Maria basically hit fame in 2049, so last year. She'd been around for a little while beforehand. Was number 1 in 2048. But she's basically been, so for 2 years now she's been a megastar.
Yeah.
But she also doesn't keep much money herself. She's been funneling a lot of her funds into the Barons.
I was going to say, who's making the actual money?
Into the Brotherhood.
Yeah.
She's one of their rich donors.
She's been trying to make life better for the people she'd been stuck amongst.
Looks like yeah.
And is there any information as to what Texamachach was, what project he was involved in, anything like that?
He was personally in charge of Perfecto Polymers.
So the plastics people.
Yep.
Which is why she was up to find him in relation to find her under that, but there's nothing on as technology pages about that. That's basically in the dark web, he says.
Yeah, okay, and that's exactly like, yeah. Does he have any information on Perfecto Polymers itself, like what they did, why they went bust?
All he can say is
they went bust at about the same time as the death of Texamachach.
That they went bust around the same time, he says. He thinks the company was shut down before the guy died, and the guy died after it basically ruined the Barons. It was one of the last companies running out of the Barons.
Did he die in mysterious circumstances, or random car crash, or...
He does a little more digging to see if he can do that, considering he's now got some more details and some names. Okay, so he pulls up a police report with one shot to the forehead of this guy.
Oh.
And of a caliber matching the firearm Maria holds.
Right.
Maria holds.
Yeah, she has one that she...
She's got a pistol in her arm or a leg or something.
No, he thinks she shot her person who had basically modified her and tormented her and had got her addicted.
Oh, okay, so she went back and killed him.
No, she probably didn't go back and killed him.
Oh.
She had been with him the entire time as his secretary.
Yeah. And for whatever reason, okay, he'd been probably using and abusing her for
some time.
About a year.
Quite some time.
Yeah.
And that either something happened that meant she was able to break free of her addiction that he'd put her into,
yep.
or she potentially killed him, deciding that it wasn't worth living, even if I was going to die because of lack of addiction type stuff. So, because presumably the addiction, well, when Hernandez found her, she was addicted to presumably fairly standard BTLs that would have all she could have got at the time. The comment in the medical file said that she'd been addicted to this particularly high-end tailored stuff.
Unique stuff that would only be designed for her.
And it's therefore,
That's
presumably, would only be provided by this executive.
It's sort of like getting someone a brand of heroin designed to addict just them.
Just them, yeah. Like, that's fairly high level of scariness when you think about it.
Yeah, and a very high level of detail that you probably wouldn't have gotten if you didn't get and impress a local captain of the Ancients.
Oh, I see. So, we got Jeremy to make this on this.
Well, no, we've got SoCal.
So, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Hey, SoCal got you the introduction. You had to walk in the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to give him too much credit.
And like, well, as a player, I'm thinking, yeah, he put on such a good, impressive show on that the first image. Crunch, crunch, crunch. He walks down the corridor.
Maybe you just had nice shoes.
Well, hey, I do like giving people a visual and audio something to imagine and hook onto, and a single person in a spotlight walking amongst a group of people that he wants to be
Not
part
just
of.
a group of people, 2,000 to 3,000 people.
Oh, the people he wants to be part of.
Yeah, yeah, but that's a
Dreamed
lot of
of
people.
for all his life.
And he was amongst them, and apart from them at the same time.
Yeah, there's no better way to say you are amongst us, but you're not with us.
But also the fact that, from his perspective, it's the idea of, he knew he was good. He didn't know anyone else knew he was good.
Yeah, yeah.
And now he knows that the Ancients are looking at him, as well as Lofweir, the greater dragon from Germany.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, the Germany Dragon Connection, that's, couldn't remember his name, but I've heard of him in the past.
Lofweir, he runs one of the megacorps called Sadacroft. So you have Sadacroft as technology, and potentially and the Yakuza all playing their own angles on this.
Yeah, that's like some pretty heavy gang affiliations.
With the Ancients throwing a wrench in the works.
Yeah, yep, very definitely so.
You have a feeling that the Ancients were more than happy to bat the noses of the Yakuza by giving you that information.
Yeah,
I the fact that the Ancients of the Yakuza, particularly in Seattle, like the Seattle branch of the Ancients, would probably be potentially more powerful than the Yakuza, but yes, would certainly be happy to, hey, we'll give this away because it'll annoy the Yakuza, and it gets us a good tick with Lofweir.
So if you die in the run, you've done everything they could hope for. If you don't die, well, you can then pay them for the run.
Yeah.
Or you can continue to provide entertainment.
Okay, so if everyone's happy, we might call it there for a night, and we'll see if we can focus on Rakesh next session.
Yeah, that'd be good.
If he's up for it.
Well, and or if the others are out of emergency or out of casualty, then we might be in a position to try and hit the tactical building.
You did get told that you might need a couple of days from SoCal to get it together, so you might want to do some investigations of the other jobs you have, so you don't let them drag.
Yeah, but I think, well, yes, potentially we could get down the pathway, but obviously, yes, we want to also allow him time to get his kit together.
Yeah.
Because it'd be kind of nice to have some Matrix Overwatch.
Yeah.
But if the building has a dragon to protect it, I'm guessing it's probably not some random 2-bit security organisation inside.
Well,
particularly where it's already has technology.
Well, you were told it was their hit squad.
That's right.
Not just their guards, it's the guys they send out to eliminate threats.
People, yeah.
No wonder they're called the Dragon Knights.
And hey, maybe we can buff up Mercuria a bit and bring her along because she can probably handle herself better than we can.
Yeah, I think she'd be a real asset.
But unfortunately, she's a very unreliable asset because she's got at least 3 or 4 different personalities.
I see. Does she have to like roll the dice for them? Like
She doesn't get to choose.
She doesn't
That's
get to
right.
choose, yeah.
The medical talked about the fact that she'd gone insane, and apparently the music was helping to keep her sane.
Yeah.
Only for a certain definition of sane.
Yeah. I understand that.
But yes, okay then. Thank you very much, all.
Yep.
So,
Thank you.
good night, all. We have Pathfinder on this Friday, so I'll see you there, Jeremy.
You'll do.
Yep.
And otherwise, see you guys next week or the week after.
All good.
Take care of you.
Alright, see you next week.
Have a good night. Bye.
Thank you.